Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. Pretty good weekend. Actually, it was a great weekend. I had a great weekend. You know what I'm saying? Spent time with the family. Went out, movies, scary house, all that kind of stuff. It was good. You know what I mean? So, we got some Knicks news to talk about, man. Kevin Durant won't keep the Knicks name out of his mouth for whatever reason. The Knicks picked up the options of Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., Kevin Knox. We'll talk about the ramifications of picking up those options. And David Fizdale's not releasing his starting lineup until Wednesday. So we'll talk about all that stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into it. Have a good time talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So let's get the show on the road, folks. And we back in the building, ladies and gentlemen, with New York Knicks news and updates. You know, and I know Skyzoo was going to join us tonight. Hopefully he's still able to join us tonight. You know what I mean? So, you know, as soon as Skyzoo gets, I don't want to say in the building, in the virtual building, as soon as Skyzoo gets in the virtual building, then we'll get him on. You know what I mean? Obviously, he's on tour right now with the Retropolitan album, so there's a lot of things going on, you know. But anyway, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? If he can join us, that's great. But we're going to talk New York Knicks tonight. So if you want to call in, you can call in. It's 516-405-2246. Join us in the video chat, whereby.com/NBK. Now we're going to talk New York Knicks tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The season begins this Wednesday, right? Season begins Wednesday against the San Antonio Spurs. And so leading up to that, of course, the New York Knicks are practicing. But, of course, there's other stuff surrounding the Knicks. You know, they've got to solidify their roster. The Knicks had until, I believe it was today, to trim down their roster and get it to 15 signed players and two-way contracts. I do not believe they have their two-way contracts as of yet. They have one two-way contract. That's Kadeem Allen. The other is we still got to pick up the other. I thought maybe that was Skyzoo on the way in, but it's Nate. We'll take Nate, though. We'll take Nate instead of Skyzoo. But the other one is vacant. The other two-way contract is vacant. I thought that Kenny Wooten was going to get that two-way contract. He was waived. Amir Hinton was waived. So, those guys were waived. It doesn't mean that they won't play for the Westchester Knicks. But they were waived at the moment. And I'm assuming that they'll still play for the Westchester Knicks, and then we'll see what happens from there. Okay. So let's say what's up to Nate, and we'll get the show on the road. But anyway, the Knicks have their 15 guys under contract. Right, and then the next steps, of course, to solidify their salary and their not really to solidify the roster, but to set themselves up for future moves going forward, and to make sure that they, have Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr. and Kevin Knox locked down. It was announced today that they picked up the options of all three players. Now, which is a good thing, definitely a good thing, but I think some Knicks fans maybe took that as, take it a little bit different than. Anyway, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the ramifications of that. All right, but let's say what's up to Nate, and then we'll get moving. Let me get my headphones on so I can hear. And tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Macri is going to be on the show, so make sure you join us for that. All right. Nate, what's
up, man?
Bro?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Sorry, I'm not the rapper yet.
That's okay.
But it is Nate Dogg.
It's Nate Dogg in the building. That's all right. You know, Skyzoo's got a lot of stuff going on, man. Right now, he's he's traveling. He's traveling on the Retropolitan tour. So,
yeah,
you know, sometimes things get in the way. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But hey, the Knicks picked up. And here we go right here. Here he is right here. So, Nate, I got to put you on hold. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Please give a round of applause. Say what's up to Skyzoo in the building. Sky, can you hear me?
Peace. Yep, I got you.
What's going on with you, bro? How you feeling?
What's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm glad you came back because I know there's some Knicks fans that have some things they want to say to you, man. But I'm pretty sure you got some things on your mind too.
I mean, today of all days, right?
Yeah, right. Today of all days. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm pretty sure you know who Skyzoo is. If you don't know who Skyzoo is, this is a great lyrical hip hop artist right here who just dropped an incredible album. Really, that album is super dope, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Myself and Pete Rock, the icon, together on one joint.
Yeah, man. That was as soon as I popped it in, I was like, okay, this is what I've been looking for a while right now. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking for this for a while. And
appreciate it.
Everything that the title says, and as far as it's saying Retropolitan, is everything that's in the album. It's crazy. Definitely a crazy album.
Appreciate it, man. And pardon behind me, I'm in the hotel. I'm on tour right now. I'm actually in North Carolina. I'm on tour right now, doing a 2-week run, and then I'm home for a week. Then we do another 2 weeks. Then I'm home. Then we go overseas. So I'm in the middle of a tour. But I told you, I was like, I got you on the Monday night. You know, I think I'll be able to do it before we get to the next city. So see
I appreciate
the hotel room and all that in the back. So I'm here on the road working.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I appreciate you taking the time, though, man. For real, I appreciate you taking the time. I just want to ask you, how did it come about? You and Pete Rock. How did it come about?
Oh man, well, you know, Pete and I have been cool for a while, man. You know, the thing about the game when you in it, I look at sports like I look at hip hop like sports, right? I look at music like sports. So you look at it in the sense of, let's say you coming up and you're trying to get in the league and you're young and you're doing your thing, and the next thing you know, you go from being a fan of LeBron and Melo, or you go from being a fan of KD and Russell and James Harden to now you rubbing shoulders with them. You know what I mean? Now you at All-Star Weekend with them. Now you on the same team or you competing against them or whatever. So it's the same thing with music, where it's like you grow up being a fan, and then when you get in the game, you rubbing shoulders with all these guys. So I say all that to say I knew Pete for like a good 10, 11 years. Yeah, more than that, like 11 years maybe, 11, 12 years just being on the scene. The new guy coming up, everybody talking about him, lyrics and all that. Yo, Skyzoo, you getting busy, man. Yo, anything you need, let me know. So that's kind of how me and Pete met, you know, a good 10 or so years ago, maybe more. And fast forward, he would always send me beats and we would talk about doing joints and, you know, whatever, but we didn't get to really put nothing down. And then now, you know, the label that put it out, Mellow Music Group, they approached me with the idea of doing an album with Pete. And I was like, yeah, Pete's my man. Like, we overdue. We've been talking about it. So, you know, they hit Pete. Pete said the same thing. And then Pete texted me and was like, yo, bro, it look like we about to do an album, huh? So I look at it like I could have got one joint 10 years ago, or I could get 12 joints right now. And you know, whatever else may happen in the future, you never know. So it all made sense and worked out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, I'm glad it did, man, because like I said, the album automatically, as soon as I popped it in, went into one of the top albums in my catalog. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So were you two in the studio together?
Yeah, we did the whole joint together. We was in the lab every day. I went to his house, picked out a bunch of beats, and then the next day we was in the lab, and every day we was rocking. And if you know me, I write everything on the spot. So, you know, I go to the studio, turn the beat on, get a bottle of water, start banging out. Boom, go in the booth, knock it down. Wash, rinse, repeat over and over and over and over, and doing the process. And we was done in 12 days, man. We did the whole album in 12 days.
Wow. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
In and out. You know, I've always been a fast writer. I'm fortunate enough and blessed to say I've always been a fast writer. So, you know, and the album's for the city, man. Even to the colors, you know, I put the color scheme together and the artwork and everything together. You know, the colors is blue and orange for a reason. You know what I mean? It's for the city, you know, for a reason.
Oh. Yeah. Is Pete Rock gonna be on tour with you at all?
We're working on a couple things. He's working on a bunch of new projects right now, man. Some instrumental stuff that he's working on with a band and a bunch of different things. Okay. So he is a little tied up at the moment. I'm actually on tour right now with Elzai, my man. Me and my man Elzai from Slum Village. So if you know hip hop, you know Elzai, Detroit, Slum Village, and all that. So we on tour together on this one. So it's been dope, man. We've been packing out cities every night. You know, the best thing about it, and it's cool saying it on this show because it's a Knicks show. When you put an album out like this and everybody in the crowd is wearing Knicks gear, you know, everybody's wearing Knicks gear and Yankee gear and all that because of the album. You know, like we was in Boston of all places and the crowd was wearing Knicks gear. It don't get more real than that as far as the album representing and reflecting New York. You know what I mean? Like, you in Boston. That's New York's rival as far as sports. I love Boston as a city. It's an amazing place. But with sports, that's our rival. There was Knicks gear all in the crowd because they want to connect. They feel like, I'm going to the Skyzoo show. He's going to perform Retropolitan. I got to wear some Knicks stuff, man. I got to wear a Melo jersey. I got to wear an Oakley jersey. I got to wear Knicks fitted. That's been every city has been coming out with jerseys and Knicks apparel. I feel like the Garden owe me, man. You know what I mean? Like the Garden owe me for paper, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. James Dolan might be a little stingy on that one.
No, yeah. I already know. But, you know, I say that to say it's dope, man. You know, like when the music connects on that level where they want to come dressed in their uniform. You know, if you hear this album, the uniform is Knicks apparel, Giants apparel, Yankees apparel, you know, so it's dope, man. It's dope. It's been a good ride.
All right, man. Yo, all right. So, yeah, you know, getting to the Knicks.
Yeah, let's do this Knicks thing before I gotta go. Let's do it. Yeah. You know, the last time I did this, man, you know, Twitter was going out of control. It was a couple people I wanted to DM like, yo, come see me. You know what I mean? Like, they was talking stupid, you know what I mean? I'm like, first of all, yo, it's basketball, man. It's sports. You know what I mean? Like, there was a couple people talking stupid. I'm like, yo, all right, tell me where you at. You know what I mean? Like, I almost got to that point, but it's all love, man. So when you hit me, I was like, oh, man, we about to open this can of worms again. You know what I mean? But it's all love, bro. It's all good.
Yeah. All right, so the Knicks picked up Frank Ntilikina's option today. We jump.
All days we on here.
Yeah. Right. So we're gonna jump in that first and foremost. How you feel about that?
You know where I'm at, man. You know how I feel, man. I'm not gonna chop this kid down no more, man. You know, I'm gonna just let the season play out as it should. Whatever happens. I ain't chopping this kid down no more, man. We all got eyes. You know what I mean? I respect the defense. I respect the 6'6" and the 7-foot wingspan. I respect all that. The only thing I'm going to say to anybody who's really on that side of the fence and that Frank Island, you got to be able to contribute. You can't be a liability on either side of the court. You can't be a defensive liability and you can't be an offensive liability. Yeah. I'm not gonna say no more. You know what I mean? Like, we know what Son could do defensively. We know he ain't Scottie Pippen like people be trying to make him out to be, but we know he could play some defense. We know he put them broomstick arms out there, and you know he wrap up Trae Young or whoever, who's awesome by the way. Trae Young is really just busting everybody's ass, but you know he put them broomstick arms out there, and you know he go out there and you know do all that. Cool. You know, defense is extremely important. You know, you'd be stupid not to say so. You can't be a liability on either side of the court. And if you got eyes and you a Knicks fan, and be a real honest Knicks fan, you can't be a liability on either side of the court. We can't go applauding people for almost dunking. We can't go applauding people for scoring 3 points. And I'm not even trying to throw a shot. I'm talking about anybody. No. We live in an era now where Heads is on SportsCenter because they almost made a dunk. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, right. You almost made it, you know, SportsCenter. And that's anybody, not just Son. That's anybody. So, you know, I ain't gonna chop this kid down no more, man. We're gonna let the season play out, and we're gonna let it be what it gotta be. I love RJ. I'm ready for that RJ situation to flourish. I need him to get his jumper correct, but it's early. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I need him to get his jumper correct. Other than that, he clearly got it. You know?
Yeah. And look, with Frank, I mean, I was a big supporter. I'm still a supporter. I'm still a big supporter of him. But man, I mean, you're right. I mean, the kid he gotta shoot. I mean, he got to be able to score. You know what I'm saying? I see his hands.
I think it's a confidence thing, man. And I think that's why people went so hard with the FIBA thing. And people like, yo, he was amazing in FIBA. And I'm like, he was cool in FIBA. He wasn't amazing. It's just you haven't seen it, so it looks a certain way to you. But my thing is, he was comfortable out there. Why was he comfortable out there? Because he was home. He was with his peoples. Right. You know what I mean? Like, he was on Team France. He was comfortable. So it shows he hasn't really gotten comfortable in the league yet. And people may say, oh, well, you know, he's young. You know who was comfortable in the league right away and spoke no English? Giannis. He was comfortable right away. He still speak broken English, and he's as comfortable as can be. So I don't know if I could let anybody slide with that. But, again, I'm not going to chop this kid down, man. Like, you know, let's just let it play out. let's let it continue to play out, you know? Let's let it continue to play out. Yeah, we can go down the line of who they picked up. I really like Julius. I've liked Julius for a while on when he was running with the Lakers and New Orleans. I liked Julius for a while. So I was happy with that. I think on the low, Marcus Morris might be the pickup of the summer based on the way it's looking.
I agree.
We thought it was going to be Julius, and I liked Marcus Morris for a while too. He was getting busy in Boston. He looking like the guy. He looking like the face of the team. Yeah. From a aggression standpoint, a leadership standpoint, muscle, and he's giving heads 18 and 8 every night. He's looking like the focal point of the offense. So it's wild. He deserves it, man. He been you know, blue collar in it for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it a while ago, and I was like, you know, Marcus Morris, when we need a bucket right now, he's the only one I trust. Julius Randle, I still don't trust.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean? I still, you know, Julius Randle still looks a little shaky. You know, he dribbling into double teams. Maybe he's got to get used to it.
I think he's getting used to being. I think he's getting used to being option one. Right. He's never been the number one option. As dope as he is, he get busy. He's never been the number one option. He's always been like third. You know, Anthony Davis or being on the Lakers back then or whatever. He's always been the third option. Like, I think he's trying to get settled in that, and that's cool. We got to work them kinks out quick. Season start in 2 days. Right. But that's cool. You know what I mean? He got the biggest check on the league, on the team. So, you know, that. But, you know, I like Son. I like Julius Randle a lot. Marcus Morris. Who else? Man, we picked up
we picked
everybody from 6'10" and better, man.
Yeah, we picked up Bobby Portis. Right, we got Bobby Portis. As a matter of fact, sometime this week, I'm working with a group called Close Up 360. And you know, it's going to a little like 8-minute documentary going to preview on the channel about Bobby Portis. It's, you know, it's pretty
dope. Congratulations on that.
Appreciate it.
Bobby is dope, man. You know what I like? I like the idea of the muscle with the Knicks, right? Like bringing the '90s Knicks back. My only thing with that is I love it. We grew up in that era. You know, I watched those games live, 94, 95, 96. But is the rest of the league going to be able to handle that? Because these guys is friends. Like in the 90s, the Knicks was able to be that way and the Pistons was able to be that way in the 80s because nobody was really friends. These guys is really friends. So we can muscle it out as the Knicks. The heads are still going to be friends like after the game. So it's harder to do that. You can't muscle it out and be wanting to fight everybody on the court. But after the game, Kevin Knox is cool with, you know, Cam Reddish. I'm just picking names out of a hat. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's people to do it nowadays. Back then, nobody was friends, man. Like, you was friends with your teammates. That was it. Nobody was friends. Like, it's going to be tougher to instill that, but I like the idea of trying to instill that. You got the perfect people with Marcus Morris and Bobby Portis.
Bobby Portis.
You know what I'm saying? 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, them guys, all they want to do is scrap. You know what I mean? So you got the Bobby Porter's taking his photo shoot pictures with his fist ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, his media day with his fist ball. You know what I mean? He's beyond ready. So, you know, I like it, man.
Taj Gibson.
I like Taj. He's from the hood. He's from Fort Greene, Brooklyn guy. I like Taj. It's weird, like, letting some of the people go that we did. the Lance Thomases, which I was never a Lance guy because he was a locker room guy, which was great, but you got to be able to do a little more than just give a good speech on the bench. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to do a little more. But he was such a locker room guy, and I guess they got Taj to be the same thing. Is Taj better than Lance? Yeah, I guess so. Taj is better than Lance offensively. I guess so. So, I don't know, but I like Taj. He from the hood. He from around the way. So, I'm going to support that. I like Taj. Wayne Ellington, we need 3 Wayne Ellingtons, man. We got no shooters, B. Like, he the only shooter. You know what I mean? Like, we need shooters bad, man. I hope Reggie Bullock could bounce back, because he's a shooter. I don't know, man. How you feel, man? With all these pickups, 80 power forwards.
Like, I like the pickups. See, that's one thing. A lot of people talked about the power forwards, right? But Bobby Portis can play some center. Taj can play some center too. You know what I mean?
A little bit.
So they can play. I don't know if I want to say behind Mitch yet. I'm not sure that Mitch is a starter yet. You know what I'm saying? I think Mitch still got to grow. He still got to grow a little bit.
Me being hypothetical, this ain't no. I hear you. See, the thing with Mitch, he's so raw. Pause. It's literally like a lump of clay, man. You know what I mean? He's so talented. I remember seeing Son at the Jordan Classic. I was there, and I was like, yo, this kid is nuts. And then I was surprised when he didn't go to college and all the stuff happened and then the way he got drafted. But, he's so talented, but it is a lump of clay, man. Like, it's a lump of clay. I need him to gain some more weight and bulk up a little bit. I need him to not try to go after every block just to break a record. You know what I mean? Like, because that's how you get foul trouble. You know what I mean? But you just got to put him with somebody. And that's why I was mad that we ain't pick up another legit center to show Son the ropes. If for no other reason, like, the priority should have been, we need a legit backup center who's a vet to show Son the ropes. You know what I mean? Like,
and when DeAndre Jordan came last year, I thought he helped Mitch out a lot.
Yeah, and it would have been dope if we could have re-signed him to continue helping him. You know what I mean? But what I heard through the channels, and it was out there, so this ain't no breaking news, that with the playing time, DJ was a little upset about that. You know what I mean? About Son getting all his playing time. You know what I mean? So that was the domino with the Brooklyn Nets thing. That was how that domino started to fall. But, we needed a legit veteran backup center to really show Son the ropes. Who that could have been, I don't know. Like, my man City for real said, something about Brook Lopez. I don't know if he would have been trying to come off the bench because he was hot last season. He was hitting threes and all that. But even a Robin, and I was never the biggest Robin guy, even a Robin or – I don't know, but we got to pair him with somebody. You know what I mean? He just out there going for broke,
Yeah. I mean, maybe Skyzoo. I just see somebody put that in the chat. I just see somebody put it in the chat, right? Maybe Taj is supposed to be that guy. Maybe they think Taj is going to be that guy.
Yeah, I think they got Taj as more of a locker room leadership guy. But Mitch needs a straight-up center to show him the ropes.
Yeah. So I'm not, the chat, everybody screamed at me, few shows back. I was like, I don't know if Mitch is the starter. You know what I'm saying? Because, offensively, he's limited. He can't really, all he can do is run to the rim on a oop. Obviously, he can block shots, but, he doesn't have a outside shot.
He's blocks and dunks.
Yeah, blocks and dunks.
Athleticism, hops, long arms, he's blocks and dunks. Absolutely. But I like him. I think they got to keep him for sure, but you got to get somebody to work with him, man. You got to get somebody to work with him ASAP.
Right. Yeah. Well, how you feel? So who do you think is going to be the starting point guard come this Wednesday?
I think they're going to give it to Elfrid, at least for a couple games. I think they want to give it to Dennis, who I'm a Dennis supporter, but I need him to step up a little bit. If I could chop one guy down, I could keep it a buck on another guy. I really, really like Dennis. Everybody who knows me knows I was supporting that on draft night, and I was heartbroken when it didn't go our way. But I'm gonna keep it a bean. You know what I mean? I need him to really step up so that it don't be egg in my face. You know what I mean? I need him to really step up. You know what I mean? He got it. He got the most potential out of all three of them, but we really got to shine some light on that potential and get it right. I think because of his back, I think they're going to go with Elfrid. And again, this is just me guessing out the blue. I think that might be a problem. Dennis has never come off the bench in his life. Back to Little League. He's never come off the bench in his life. I think that's going to be a problem. If he's coming off the bench too long, I think it's gonna be a problem. But he's a good kid, man. I know a lot of people that work with him and stuff. He's a great kid. Like, everybody loves him. Nobody got nothing bad to say about him, but it's just adjusting to that. I think they roll with Elfrid, man. If Dennis' back ain't 110%, I think they roll with Elfrid.
Think that back is going to be a problem all season? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how severe it was. If it was just cautionary or if it was like, yo, that. I feel like it was cautionary. I feel like it was, you know what, it's preseason. We don't got to go that crazy. I feel like it was cautionary, you know. But we're going to see, man. I think they go with Elfrid opening night at least. They don't mean the whole season, but I'm already looking at LaMelo Ball. I ain't going to hold you. I'm already.
You're not the only one.
LaMelo Ball highlights, B.
Yeah,
he's 6'7", he got a jumper, he got handles, he got a vision, he got long arms, so he can do all that Frank stuff that everybody loves, and, you know, he can pass, and he's quick. I'm already looking at LaMelo Ball, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not the only one. A whole lot of people already looking at him. Kevin Knox, you think he takes a step forward?
I don't know, man. His jumper look all right. But everything else, it's that dog, man. That's what we talked about last year when everybody was trying to chew me. It's that dog, man. People be talking about Giannis. Oh, Giannis was a rookie and he averaged 8 points. Yeah, but he had that dog in him. You could see it. Like, he was speaking broken English and he was in people's face. Like, yo, what up? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's that dog, that fight, man. I don't really see it in Kev. You know what I mean? And he's in 6'9", and he bulked up. All that's good. You know, his jumper looks a little better. I don't know, though, man. I don't know. Right now, they're gonna put Marcus Morris in front of him.
Oh yeah,
because he busted out. You know what I mean? So how does he deal with that? I don't know. I'm not even being rhetorical. I really don't know. How does he deal with coming off the bench now? I don't know.
Right.
We're gonna definitely
look. I'm hoping that Marcus Morris kind of teaches him the ropes a little bit, like the same way we need somebody for Mitch, a center for Mitch. Marcus Morris kind of can be that for Knox, at least for a season.
I would hope so, but I feel like Marcus Morris is the type of individual, based on his personality, the way you see it. I think he might be like, yo, this kid don't got it, man. This kid's soft. And I'm not calling him. I'm just picking words out the blue. He might be like, man, this kid don't got it, man. He don't got that dog in him. I ain't wasting my time. You know what I mean? Like, Marcus Morris seemed like that type of individual. Like, yo, either you got it, either you ready or you not. Either suit up or not. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. You know, you can see that in RJ. 100%. You can see that in RJ. You can see it from the moment he was like, I want all that pressure.
Right.
Put me in New York. I want it all. He's like, oh, this kid got the dog in him. And you can see it. You know what I mean? Like, he ready to roll. You know what I mean? So, you know, you can see it in Zoe. You know what I mean? He got that dog. It's certain head. You can see it in Dot. Dot got it in him. Like, you could just see it, man. 100%.
Yeah, you think RJ has that potential to be the franchise player?
Yeah, I do. He just got to get the jumper. What I do next summer, I call James Harden with a bag with $100,000, and we work for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And I say James Harden because they both lefties. I call James Harden. Yo, I got $100,000. I got 100 large. Let's work for 2 weeks on this jumper, and you rock out. You know what I mean? I'm a big proponent of players working with former players or players who are current but older than them, who they could, you know, pattern themselves after. I spoke about it on my man show before. We had this thing where we started pairing up all the Knicks players with who they should work with. And I think we said, like, you know, Zoe should get with, I mean, not Zoe, Mitch should get with, like, Pat. Of course, that's a layup. Or you know, Hakeem, of course, that's a layup, just because of how great they are. And for Kevin Knox, I was like, yo, he need to get with Tracy McGrady. He should go hit Tracy McGrady with 100 large and spend 2 weeks with him and get right. You know, like we was comparing it all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who should each player on the Knicks go get with for 2 weeks in the summer to step up? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, I mean, and you know, David Fizdale does a good job trying to bring people into practices, into the locker room and all that.
Which is great.
You know, so, you know, and I'm sure he's got a lot of connections around the league. You know what I mean? To try to get some of these guys connected with.
Yeah, you know, he tried to get Kev with Braun last year and all that. You know what I mean? So he on the same wavelength, ironically. You know what I mean? Like, because when Amari was doing that with Hakeem and Dwight Howard did it with Hakeem, I thought it was brilliant. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, players need to do that. Like, players need to really do that. You know? Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. What do you think is David Fizdale, man? Is he the coach? Is he the guy that can take us forward?
I like him a lot. I think it's just everything got to fall into place perfectly. You know what I mean? I think everything got to kind of fall into place perfectly with some. But I do like him a lot. You know what I mean? I like him a lot. they're not going to get rid of him. They can't. Even for face value, they can't get rid of him because they don't blew through too many coaches too quick.
Yeah.
So he going to get by default. They can't keep paying. They still paying Phil. They still paying Jeff Hornacek. They still paying Derek Fisher. Miller's not going to be doing that. You know what I mean? Like, so for everybody who be on the no Fizz is here. Like, Fizz is going to ride their contract out because they can't just keep paying people to sit on the boat and chill. You know what I mean? Like,
see, the thing I get nervous about with Fizz is sometimes I feel like he might be too friendly with the players.
I dig that. You want a players coach, that these guys can relate to. It's a players league.
Right.
But I know where you're going. I feel what you're saying. Sometimes you got to get in their ass, pause like Pop would, and be like, yo, I don't care who you are. Shut up, B. Like, let's get this right. You know what I mean? But,
And then,
I feel where you're coming from.
And, I'm still, but look, I just gave him a pass last year because it was just, it was just garbage. Right, so I just gave him a pass.
Yeah, he didn't have a choice. He didn't really have a choice.
Yeah, but
now is where it gets real. Yeah. The only thing I'll say with management, I don't know what he's gonna do with this playing time, man. You got too many people that need to rock. You know what I mean? Like the guy who's the 15th guy could be the 8th guy on another team.
Right.
So what do? You know what I mean? Like, that's the issue. Like, heads ain't gonna play. You can't roll out 15 guys every night. Heads ain't gonna play, and it's gonna get bad. Trust me, it's gonna get bad.
It can, especially when you got guys that's on 1-year contracts or 1 year with an option.
They want to rock.
I mean, look, Marcus Morris. One of the reasons why I think Marcus Morris came to the Knicks from the Spurs is because he knows he got $15 million from the Knicks. I think he was gonna get what it was like 2 years, $10 million with the Spurs.
It was 2 years, 20 versus 1 year, 15.
Yeah, 2
so
years,
it was
20.
$5 million.
Right, so he got the $5 million plus he's going to enter free agency in 2020, and it's not a lot of players where he might
he's
get paid.
Himself. He's betting on himself.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying. So he wants the ball. You know what I'm saying, and now like we were saying earlier, he looks like he might be the man on the team. If he comes out and he's the man on the team, he's looking at a nice payday over this summer. You know what I mean? And it's not just like that with him. It's gonna be like that with a couple players on the team. That makes me a little bit nervous. And if Fizz can handle that,
we gonna see, man. We gonna see, but we gonna see what it is, man.
Yeah, I know.
We got a lot to deal with this roster, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like you said, if you want a 1-year deal, you want the rock because you want to get off. So now ISO ball comes into play. Now all that is happening because it's like, yo, I'm playing for my family. I'm playing for a ring. I'm playing for my family. You know what I mean? Right. And then it just gets different, man. You know what I mean? It's gonna be an up and down one, man. It's gonna be an up and down season. We're gonna see.
Yeah. What you think about Iggy?
I like him. He was getting busy in Michigan. I like him, but it's about opportunity. How much time is he gonna get? Are you gonna put him over Wayne Ellington, who's a proven shooter, vet in the league? Are you gonna you know what I mean? But he's gonna be around. He's second round pick. He just got here. He's gonna be around. He can play a little bit. Like he was rocking in Michigan. So I think it was cool. I think it was a cool pickup. That kid, Mia Hinton, that kid is for real. Yeah, that kid is for real. I think they waived him so they could send him to the G League.
To the G League, right?
That kid is for real.
But they still got a two-way contract that they can give out because they waived what's his name, Chris Wilkes or whoever it was a couple months ago. They waived him a couple months ago.
That's the name. Yeah, but Amir Hinton is for real. Stop the fan playing the single. I hear you playing at a 12 build. I hear you from me and Rock.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to get. I'm gonna try to get a couple people to call in. You'll be able to hear them if you want to add. If you don't mind answering a couple questions. It'll Knicks questions or whatever. People call in.
Yeah. I probably could do a few more minutes. So I gotta get out because I'm on the tour.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, call in, ladies and gentlemen, 516-405-2246. Get a couple questions in with Skyzoo before he has to, dip back out, get to work. I'm sure, you got a lot of, busy man. We got some guys here in the video chat. I don't know. And you guys got any questions, anything you want to add into the conversation? before Sky gets on the road. Guillermo, I just want to say something to you. Your Jets
Yo,
getting
okay. Chill. I know what you're gonna say, man. Look, I'm depressed right now. I don't need this right now. My Jets are struggling. Let's enjoy the time that we have with Skyzoo right now. It's not the time to be talking about the Jets.
33-0.
So,
They're getting punched in the mouth right now.
Okay, all right. Thank you, son.
I expected it. No worry. I mean, my Giants they ain't get smacked, but you know.
Yeah, man. Don't bring up the Giants, dude. Like, bring up the Giants, man. Like, Jesus Christ.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Bring up the Giants, man, please.
Yeah.
The other side of my heart that they be rocking in the Yankees, like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, go ahead, Guillermo. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. I was gonna ask him a rap question though.
Yeah, please, y'all.
Yeah, go ahead.
When you gonna do more work with my man Westside Gun, man? 50-inch Zenith, man.
Yeah, that's my brother, man. That's my brother. A lot of people, man, the first time they heard Wes was with me. Was on Music for My Friends on my album. That's my brother. M. Conway, Benny, all them guys. That's my brother. You know what I mean?
I feel like all you guys and Rock Marciano, all you guys from the East Coast, like you guys are like the last people kind of holding it down, man. You guys got to do more work together, man. Cause
yeah, that's like my family. Like, I'm with them guys every day, so it's more on the way. You know what I mean? We cooking, and it's more on the way. You know, they on the album with me and Pete. You know what I mean? And I'm on all them Griselda projects, from Benny stuff to Con stuff to West albums and all. So it's all crew love, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You guys are holding down for the East Coast, man. Y'all the only dudes, man. So
doing it for the city, man. For the city, you know what I mean?
It's crazy, man.
Word up. I appreciate the love. I appreciate you listening. You mentioned Zenith, so I know you tapped in. You know what I mean?
Of course. Westside, that whole move, that's the only thing that's keeping me like still in rap, man. Sim gets on me all the time about talking about Rock Marciano and Westside Gun.
I don't get on you about talking about them, man.
You think, I can't listen to this new rap anymore, man. So salute to you guys.
Yeah. Let me get to this phone call.
I appreciate you.
Of course, man.
Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
I'm good. This is Peter from Belize. How you doing?
What's going on, Peter? How you feeling, man?
Peace, all the way from Belize. Word up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been a crazy rough week, and I'm still trying to recover from the Yankees and the Giants, man. So I hope we can. Wednesday is the game, right, against the Spurs. I just hope that we can just start off right. Have a good week against the Spurs, but a well-oiled machine, well-oiled offense, coach, and this is where Fizdale can get exposed against one of the premier coaches in the game. It really, we're just talking about players, but he's going to be put on the spot going against a premier coach in a pop. But I'm still with Frank going to me to get the starting point guard. But when you look at DSJ, he actually played well in that final game against the Pelicans. Almost had a triple-double. Well, not really near, but 9 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Still had to get 4 more assists to get in that triple-double conversation. But we saw a decent point guard play from him, and I feel we need as much offense as possible if you're going to go up against a team that runs, has very good offensive sets, good ball movement, very unselfish. You're going to see a lot of assists in the game against with the Spurs. So we're going to have to answer whatever whatever sort of scoring they're going to be bringing, right? But I definitely like our chances in the game. Usually, both teams are trying to get their foot wet, but you're gonna see a pretty good point guard in the DeJounte Murray. I like him. He's a triple-double machine, or a triple-double point guard waiting to happen in the league as well. So definitely gonna want to see how we stack up against them come Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, we starting off right in the fire. San Antonio, Brooklyn, Boston. I mean, you know, we starting off right there. So we got to come play. But look, I mean, Fizdale, he ain't no stranger to Pop. You know, they played him in the playoffs. That, you know, that's when he had to take that for data. You know, I saw, you know,
yeah, when he was with Memphis, yeah.
You know what I mean? But hey, Peter, I appreciate the call, man. I'm gonna try to get a couple.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, sure. All right, guys.
All right, man.
Peace out.
All right, peace.
Love.
All right, let me see. Tony Crow's on the line. Tony, what's popping, bro?
Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. What's good, sir? Shout out to Skyzoo.
Yeah.
Peace. Appreciate it, man. What's good?
I got 2 questions for you. And they both hip hop related. Is there anybody you haven't worked with that's on your list of like wanting to work with?
Oh man, man, I've been blessed and fortunate enough to work with so many people, man. That list, I feel like that list gets shorter and shorter every day. You know what I mean? Like, because as soon as I feel like it's a couple people I ain't worked with on that level, the call comes in. I get the call, and I'm either working with them, or I'm ghostwriting for them, or different levels of what I've been doing. So, I don't know, man. I mean, Pharrell would be dope. Madlib would be dope. You know, there's a couple people out there that I still haven't gotten with, but like I said, I done got with so many people, man. It's been love across the board. You know, all the guys I grew up on, guys that came in with me, we all been rocking and rolling together for a while now, so it's good.
Yeah, that's what's up. All right, and as far as what do you think of the Shaq Dame Lillard back and forth?
Oh man, yeah. Yo, that was great, man. That was great. They both was going for it in their own way. You know what I mean? Shaq was going to war on the victory beat and all that. I think, Shaq said something on the victory beat, and it was so flagrant, I turned it off. I was like, I can't even listen to the rest of it. That's really wilding. Like, I think he said something about, I see the string hanging under your jersey. Yeah. I was like, wilding. Like, he was really going for his throat. I think I stopped it. I was like, I can't even finish this yet. I was like dying laughing. It's dope, man, because Dame could rap. You know what I mean? Dame could really, really rap. Especially for a ball player, you know what I mean? Like you don't expect to see that. And Dame, he's been proving himself. So it was dope, man. It was cool, healthy competition, man. Like as long as it stay there and don't get weird on TNT where Shaq can't give him the props if he play good or something, you know what I mean? Like as long as it stay there, it's cool, you know what I mean?
That's funny. It put a little bit of pressure on Dame too. He didn't want to go fishing.
Yeah, he had to come back. That first one, Shaq was acting up on that Dre beat. That first, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I really like
whenever you get off tour, man, you gotta come to one of the events, man. And
absolutely, man. Absolutely. I'm always around. I'm easy to reach on the gram or Twitter or whatever. You know what I mean? So absolutely, man. I'm always here to support whatever's going on and what makes sense and what's dope. So absolutely, man. Say no more.
Yeah, man. I know.
No doubt. Shout out to the chat. Your Black is time, son. Keep doing your thing.
Yeah, no doubt.
I appreciate it, man. Peace and love.
Tony. I know you hoop a little bit, right?
Who, me? Yeah. I used to be better when I was a kid, man. When I was in junior high and high school, I was legit. But if you don't ride a bike for a while, you still remember.
Right.
But you can't ride with no hands and standing on the seat. You know what I mean? Like you can't do it like you used to. So I don't got it like I used to, man. I can still shoot, but that's about it. I don't got it like I used to.
Because something that we've been, we're hoping to get together is a little, charity basketball event or something like that.
Okay, like a tournament or something, yeah.
Yeah, so, maybe if you're free, maybe you could come just play or something.
Hey, man, catch and shoot. I'm going to stand in the corner and go. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, Tony asked about, someone that, people that you haven't worked with yet. I'm gonna tell you who I would love to see you work with. My man. I don't know him, but Nas. If I could get you and Nas on a record.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Rock Marciano, man.
That'd be awesome, man. Absolutely. Just cut from the same cloth. So somebody I grew up listening to. You know what I mean? You hear my music, you say, okay, he grew up listening to Big, he grew up listening to Nas, he grew up listening to Jay. The Wu. You get hit. You know who I was inspired by. Growing up in the era I'm from. I grew up in the 90s. I was born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. So, how what I'm here for and how I cook. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and all throughout that Retropolitan album, everything. I mean, everything that's scratched in the background. You hear Nas, you hear some Jay, you hear everything.
Yeah, Appreciate it, man. Word up. I see Nate had his hand up. I don't know if he was about to say something.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Let me get to you, Nate. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Skyzoo, what's up, man?
Peace.
Hey, you kind of answered the question, but I guess a little more in depth. Who's your greatest inspiration? Like just for your
music,
rap, music.
Even outside of hip hop, I'm a big jazz head, man. Miles Davis, Miles Davis would be at the top. Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Wayne Shorter. I could go on and on and on. Lee Morgan. I could just name jazz musicians forever. Hip hop wise, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas. I grew up a block away from Biggie. That's the block I'm from. So my whole neighborhood is Biggie world, Junior Mafia world. Like that's what I grew up in. Even before they was moving, that's all I saw. So it was the guys that was on the corner every day to, oh snap, they on TV, and I'm a little kid looking at it like, oh snap, like that's what I grew up in, So of course Big, Jay, Nas, I took a lot from the Genius as a kid, and Ray, and all these different guys, lyricism and storytelling, and that's just who I am. So when you hear my music, it's always gonna be lyricism, it's always gonna be lines, I'm never taking the bar off, and that's why people come to me for what they come to me for. If you go to the Chinese store, you're going for Chinese. You're not going for pizza. So if you go to a Chinese store and they whip out a pizza, you're going to be pissed off. Like, I ain't come for that. You know what I mean? So, when you come to me, you coming for lyrics. If you coming for something else, go to somebody else, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But with me, you coming for them lines and them bars and that work, and that's what it's about with me,
No doubt, man. Hey, I know you probably gotta roll in a little bit. So
yeah,
looking at this season for the Knicks, man, what do you think they're gonna do? What you think they're gonna do?
I know, right? You know what, man? You know what? It's a catch-22 because it's like last year we wanted to tank 100%. I wanted it. Everybody on the screen right now wanted it. You could lie. We all wanted to tank, man, because we saw Zion, we saw Cam, we saw RJ, and we got RJ, and I love RJ, so we cool, right? But I think what we learned from the KD debacle, and there was way more to it than it's ever going to come out, and I know that for a fact. There was way more to it than it's ever going to come out. But a big part of it was, them guys ain't winning over there. They don't got nothing. So if we playing, we busting ass, it's two of us. The other 13 guys, what are they going to be able to do? Where the Nets showed, if we ain't playing or if we got an off night or if we hurt, them guys got enough to get 35, 40-something wins. Cool. That was it. You know what I mean? So I think we got to prove that we could win a little bit, man. And I'm going to be honest, I like some of the moves. I do think it's going to be a little tough to prove that the way the Nets did it, and I'm not a Nets fan at all. I hate them guys. I all in good basketball fun. I call them they're the gentrified team of the NBA. You know what I mean? They're the team from another city, another state, who now live in Brooklyn, repping Brooklyn, buying coffee, you know what I mean? And acting like they super Brooklyn. You're not super Brooklyn. I'm super Brooklyn. I've been in Brooklyn 36 years. You know what I mean? The Nets is a gentrified team of the league. You know what I mean? Like, bottom line. You know what I mean? Like, they're the gentrified team of the league. So, but what they proved is if you winning, you got a shot,
Right.
But damn, I want LaMelo Ball in the Garden, man, because we need this PG thing solidified, and that kid is all right. Cole Anthony's all right, too. Greg Anthony's son. Cole Anthony was nice.
Yeah.
If you got LaMelo, because here's the thing, man. I love RJ. I was pushing for us to get him, but, RJ's not a shooter yet. So somebody in the backcourt got to shoot. So we're going to start Frank and RJ. Frank can't shoot. RJ can't shoot. You're going to start Dennis and RJ. Neither one of them can shoot. Right. They can't shoot. Somebody got to be able to shoot. And that's why I think we should have ran at D-Lo over the summer. I really thought we should have made a run at D-Lo. I thought that was very foolish for them not to at least pick up the phone and be like, yo, what is it going to take? Because D-Lo got a cannon. You know what I mean? He got a cannon. And somebody got to be able to shoot. Somebody got to be able to jack it and be a real threat from outside.
Yeah, I did a whole video
out there. And he's 6'7". So he's 6'7". RJ 6'7". LaMelo got more of a finesse game. RJ tough as nails. He muscled up. He ready. They complement each other. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say tank for LaMelo. I'm not going to say that. But if son wound up at the crib, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Okay. I did a whole video on D'Angelo Russell, bringing in D'Angelo Russell and Julius
I'm
Randle.
telling you, man. That's what you should have went after.
Yeah,
That's what we're doing after, man. Even if KD was coming or whatever, it should have been about D'Lo.
Right.
D'Lo would have been one of the first calls because he wanted to stay. Like what I heard, he loved living in New York. So it was like, I don't care if I'm in black and white or blue and orange. Like, I'm in the city. I'm going to Flight Club. I'm going to Philippe's. I'm chilling. You know what I mean? He wanted to be in New York. And they didn't even pick up the phone. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been the first call.
Yeah.
Yo, D'Lo, what up? What we got to do?
And you talking about having a young nucleus that can attract free agents.
So he's a 23-year-old all-star with a cannon. You know what I mean? Cannon. And a fun fact, a lot of people don't know, because my man Guillermo, I think I said your name right. My bad if I didn't. You mentioned Wes. That's West Side Gun's cousin.
For real?
D'Lo. That's literally his cousin.
Okay. Okay, wow. I didn't know that.
That's his cousin. 100%. I remember him telling me that when D'Lo was in Louisville. He was like, yo, my cousin about to go to the league. And we was building about it in Buffalo. He was like, yeah, that's my little cousin, man. It's my little cousin. So, that's Wes' cousin.
Yeah, that's what's up.
He wanted to stay. He wanted to stay in Brooklyn too, man. Damn.
Yeah. What you think is gonna work in Brooklyn? KD, Kyrie, you think it's gonna work? I don't really think it's gonna work. I don't
know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I like Kyrie a lot. Kyrie is amazing. You know, he's injury prone. You know, he'll shake up a locker room when he feel like it. You know, the thing I like about Kyrie is he don't care. For better and worse. He don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, you can say whatever about him. He'll be like, so? You can say, oh, you went over there and did that. So he don't give a fuck. KD seemed like he cared. You know what I mean? That's why he explaining himself every day now in the media. Like, he seemed like he cared. Kyrie don't give a fuck. He'd be like, whatever. I went to Brooklyn. Eat it. You know what I mean? Like, and I respect that. You know what I mean? And he could play, you know, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, coming back off of ACL is real, you know? Yeah. People have done it. Blake did it. You know, PG ain't tear his ACL. He broke his knee up. But heads have done it before. Neek did it, Dominique Wilkins. But it's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah. We'll see how that's going to work. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's – I mean, they're going to be good when KD comes back. They're gonna
be good. I mean, they're going to be good without him. They're going to be good without him. They're going to be playing with adrenaline every night because they hype. They're going to be playing with enthusiasm. You know, they're going to get it off adrenaline alone. But, you know, they'll hit 45 games without KD. KD come back if he all right. You know, it'll obviously be better than that if he all right, because he's a top 3 generational player, of course. Right. You know what I mean? But it's more than just throwing names together, man. And I think we're learning that this year. I think we learned that over the summer. You know, we got to really build it right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Get your chemistry.
Last, Julius Randle, do you think he could take the next step? Become an all-star?
I hope so. I don't think he's the number one option as much as I like him. I think he's a second option. You know what I mean? I think if we had him and D'Lo and RJ, it might have been something. You know what I mean? It might have really been something. Yeah, wasn't they together on the Lakers? Yeah, they was together.
Yeah, they was together.
Yeah. Man, they should have called that kid, man. That was dumb. They should have called that kid.
Definitely would have been something. I mean, I think playoffs would have been just about a shoo-in for us this year if we had D'Lo, RJ, Julius.
The roster as is with D'Lo. Yeah. Would have been all right. Would have been all right. You know, it's just, you got to have a threat. Heads got to be scared of you. You know what I mean? I think we might have touched on this last season, but like, heads got to be afraid, man. And I was talking to somebody, and I used Timmy as the example. And it's not to shit on Timmy, man. He ain't even with us no more, so it's cool. But, you know, Timmy would give heads 38, and the other team wouldn't care. You know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, he gave us 38. Because they like, yo, we ain't really afraid of son. He just had a night where he gave us 38. Cool. Right. But you got other heads 38. And before the game, it's like, yo, watch out. Son could give us 30 and better, man. You better watch son. But with Timmy, it was like, he had a good night. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So we need and like, we need somebody heads are scared of. You know what I mean? And like, for instance, KP, not to even get into that bag, but he was a threat. Heads was afraid of son. You know what I mean? Like, Heads was afraid of him. Like, they were scouting reporting on him. Like, yo, that 7'3" kid, What we gonna do? You gonna hit him for this, and you gonna get him for that. Heads was afraid of him. You had to plan around him. There's nobody to plan around right now. You know what I mean? There's nobody you afraid of, and that's why I'm talking about D-Lo. Heads is afraid of that cannon he got, man. That kid can hit it, man. Like,
yeah, I know, man.
You know,
he can go. He can definitely go.
100%. He can hit it, and whatever he may not be able to do, you got a bunch of guys around him to pick that up. That's what people don't understand. Like, well, Allen Iverson, for instance, he didn't do everything great, but he's one of the greats. But they built the team around him. Like, okay, these are the things he's not good at. We got to put a bunch of guys around him that can cover that up. So all he got to do is be great at what he's great at. You know what I mean? And that's what it comes down to. You know? So I don't know, man. But we're gonna see. You know, at the end of the day, we riding. You know, the Knicks is the chick that I'm not divorcing. You know what I mean? Like, right. It is what it is. It's in my blood. I grew up that way. My pop win 2 rings, and he raised me. I'm raising my son with the Knicks. I see City for real got blue and orange curtains. You know what I mean? Like, life, man. Like, it is what it is, man. We hit better and worse. You know?
Yeah, man. All right. Well, let me just ask you this before you get on up out of here.
Yeah.
You know, after you finish the tour and everything, any other projects you working on?
Yeah, I'm gonna have some stuff out next year. I don't really know what yet. I'm just working on a bunch of different stuff, and I'm gonna formulate it later. But you know, I'm so focused on the album right now on Retropolitan. It's literally only been out a month. You know, I think yesterday or the day before made 30 days. So it's a newborn baby, man. You know what I mean? Like, we got a lot of time with this album to pump and enjoy it, and videos and spreading the word and letting people know. And you know, people are running around screaming how it's the album of the year and it's one of the top albums of the year. We got a lot of time for people to continue to enjoy it. You know, I think nowadays we live in a culture where the music is a microwave. People will hit you and be like, yo, I got your album yesterday. It's crazy. When you dropping your next album? Yo, it just came out yesterday, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, enjoy it, because it took however long to work on it.
Right.
Enjoy it. So, you know, I just want people to enjoy the album, man, and really, really love it and enjoy it. Listen to it for months on end. And then we'll be back next year with something more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt, man. Man, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know, you know what I'm saying, you got a busy schedule, probably got to get on the road, you know, got to hit your next stop and whatnot.
Yeah, every day we're in a different city. I'm in North Carolina tonight, South Carolina tomorrow, you know, keep going. So, you know, it's every night we're in a different city. When do I wonder if the Cavs play next week. I got to go to Cleveland next week. And it's funny, the GM of the Cavs, Kobe Altman, we went to elementary school together. So, yeah.
Okay.
I think is Kobe a year older than me? I think Kobe's a year older than me. We went to PS 261, Pacific Street, Brooklyn.
What's up?
Bagawan. PS 261, Yep. So, if they in town, I gotta go to the Cavs game. Word.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
PS 261.
But yeah, man, you know, so I'm on this road, man. Peace and love to everybody on the chat. Peace and love to everybody who's, you know, rocking and rolling and supporting the album. Retropolitan, myself, Pete Rock, full album together.
Oh, you went to
now. And you Google Kobe? Yeah, I saw his face. Yeah, Kobe.
I know exactly.
Yeah, Kobe's our age, man. I think Kobe. I'm 36. Kobe's like a year older, I think, man. Yeah, PS 261, downtown Brooklyn, Bagawana Projects.
Yeah.
So if the Cavs is playing that night, I gotta catch a game. But word, man. Peace and love to everybody, man. Season start Wednesday. 82 games. Let's see where it goes, man.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you, Sky, man. And
love. I appreciate all y'all on the chat, man. Much love always.
No doubt.
Peace, bro.
Peace.
Right, peace, man. Be safe out there.
Yeah. Peace and love.
Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Skyzoo. And make sure that you go check out the Retropolitan album. If you pick it up on Spotify, iTunes, Tidal, or just go cop the CD, whatever it is. It's a super dope album, I'm telling you right now. The Retropolitan is a super dope album. If you like that East Coast, New York, boom bap, hip hop, you know, this is the album for you. You know what I'm saying? And the name says it all. And there's a lot of themes inside that album that you can unpack. You'll be unpacking the lyrics for months on end. You know what I'm saying? That's my word is my bond on this one. Go check it out, man. It's a super dope album. It's instantly one of my top albums. For real. You know what I'm saying? Guillermo, have you had a chance to check the album out yet? I know it's a Knicks show, but you know what I mean, have you had a chance?
Now only when we did on the what's the name, but I'm gonna check it out, and I'm gonna buy him. I'm gonna support him, man.
Yo,
I'm gonna purchase his album, man.
The album is dope, man. And I mean, the beats. Yo, I mean,
Yeah. We listened to it, Sim. Yeah, the one that had that Hard Styles piece on. I said I wanted the song to be longer.
Yeah. That's the Carry On Tradition joint.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I mean, you know what? Forget even check it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it outright, man.
Carry the tradition, man. Yo, the album is just crazy. You gotta check it out. But let's go ahead and let's get into some more Knicks talk. I see we got Chuck Allen in the chat. Is new to the video chat. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate you for being here, Chuck. All right, Guillermo. The Knicks picked up. They picked up, and once again, just thank you, Skyzoo, for joining us on the show, man. We definitely appreciate you coming through. But the Knicks picked up the options of Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., and Kevin Knox. Today, they picked them up. What's your take on it? I expected them to do it. It was the only smart move to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This, you know what I like about this? I mean, one, I thought the Frank thing was major because I think that now he's going to finally appreciate Frank's defense, and I think that regardless of whether Frank can score or not right now, or the FIBA stuff is going to translate, you need a defensive identity for this team, and I think Frank can bring that. It's going to be very important, especially when we have all these backcourts coming in. I thought that was special. I thought that was smart to sign him up, not let him go away, to get any, heavy interest from, the Spurs or any other team that, probably could develop him quicker. I think that he could work with Frank. The Knox thing, I know they picked it up a year early or 2 years early, or however it works. So, I mean, I thought that was smart. I think Knox is developing. I know Skyzoo is like, Knox, but Skyzoo is old school Brooklyn. So there's no leeway really with him, man. You got to be tough or not, man. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be, he's from that old rugged type of New York, which I appreciate and I love. But I think Knox is developing. When you see his game in the summer league, little spots he has here and there in the preseason, the kid has come back stronger. He looks a lot more assertive in his moves. So he's starting to process the game a little bit better. I think Knox is a good project to have, especially if you do more off ball. And I think with DSJ, man, it's tough with DSJ because we've been fairly hard on him, and I'm still waiting for Fizza. If this is a situation where Fizza is going to slowly bring him along, the kid DSJ, he's talented, but we still don't know if he's a point guard. We don't know what he is exactly. We just know he has talent. For Fizza to kind of sign him up to basically pick up that option or pick up the year or whatever it was, a kid like DSJ, he's so, I won't say sensitive, but he's emotional, right? If he's on your team, you don't want to become the bad seed or the guy who's starting to rub people the wrong way and bring all that, distraction. For you to sign him up now, it says, hey, we believe in you. We want to help develop you. And maybe that takes a little bit of pressure off his back to say, all right, maybe I have time to truly understand how to point guard works. Because you saw it, Sim. You saw it in the preseason this year where he was thinking, and he was almost thinking too much where he couldn't even react to things. He couldn't do the pick and roll properly. He was hesitating on driving. His shot looked, you know what I mean? And if that's the thing of I don't feel secure because maybe the Mavericks got rid of me and people don't really believe in me, Fizzo comes in as like that, I wouldn't say that father type, that sounds corny, but he comes in as like, yo, here, I'm I know it's a business, but I'm giving you time. I'm here to support you. So if Fizzo thinks he could develop him, that is a very smart move because it takes some of the pressure off his back, and maybe he starts to develop mentally what it takes to be a proper point guard versus trying to do it all and then play for a contract, play for next year. Yeah. Let us slow you develop. So, it was a smart move.
I mean, it's good. It's good for the players, and it's also good for the Knicks just as an organization and their salary situations and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
The one thing that I would just warn Knicks fans, I don't want to say warn, but don't get too excited saying, okay, this is a long-term thing now. They got Frank, this is long-term. This actually makes it even easier to trade him. All of them, Frank or Dennis Smith Jr., either one, not just Frank. It actually makes it easier to trade either one of those guys because now, if you go into the summer and you trade either one of those guys, That means in 2020, 2021, they're free. They're summer 21. They're going to be free agents. So they come off the books. The team has the ability to offer them a qualifying, give them a qualifying offer, which would make them if the player accepts the qualifying offer, then they play for a year under that salary amount, and then they can be an unrestricted free agent. If they do not accept the qualifying offer, then they're a restricted free agent, and the team can match anything, right? So this benefits the Knicks as well. It makes them a trade chip. It makes either one of those players a good trade chip. So, people are like, oh, they picked it up. That means it's gonna, this is a long-term thing. It doesn't really mean that, it just works out for both the player and the situation that Frank Ntilikina is in. You know what I'm saying? And Dennis Smith Jr. and their value, people not knowing where to value them. It works out for them. You know what I'm saying? Because, they get their contract. Frank's going to make what, $6.2 million? Dennis Smith Jr. is going to make $5.6 million. You know what I'm saying? So, still good contracts for them based on their production so far in the league, especially Frank Ntilikina based on his production in the league. I mean, he's getting $6 million. That's good based on his production in the league so far. And then if they do have a breakout year, then the Knicks can decide, okay, well, we're just going to keep you. We're going to give you the qualifying offer. And if you turn it down, you're a restricted free agent. We can match anything. So it benefits the team and it benefits the players, which means that they can be a good trade chip too. You know what I mean? So
no, you're 100% right, Sam. This whole team, look, if this thing goes to hell, and we're not sniffing mid 30 wins or whatever, it's not a team that we want to develop besides the rookies and Knox or whatever that we have. Yeah, a lot of these guys are trade chips, so yeah, I don't rule it out. But then again, think about it. If Frank actually develops, right? Say he gives you solid defense. And he develops, into the point guard where he's facilitating, he's scoring a little bit here and there. I just find it hard for the Knicks to trade away. I can see him trading away DSJ if he does a Moutier, right? He puts up a lot of empty numbers, and it was good because people get mesmerized by that sheer athleticism. So I can see him trading DSJ, but Knox and Frank. I just find it hard that if Frank is doing well, this team struggles because if he's doing well, that means he's a two-way player. Like I see that, but I understand what you're saying though in terms of flexibility and contracts.
Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how that works out. Nate, I'm coming to you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you can call in 516-405-2246. I thought maybe a few more people was gonna want to ask Skyzoo a question. I think some people were probably scared. You know what I'm saying? It happens like that when you get stars on a show. People get a little bit nervous, but, it's all good. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, man. This whole LaMelo talk, man, needs to stop. I don't want a ball in the Madison Square Garden, man, because that comes with a father, too. I don't want that drama. I mean, we got a clean house.
But let's hope that LeVar's learned his lesson from what he.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't want any part of the balls in Madison Square Garden. That's just my opinion.
I mean, let's be honest. It's probably a match made in heaven. Listen. I mean, listen. Look. I don't mean a match made in heaven as far as everything's going to work out. I'm talking about as far as the media. And all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, of course,
that's a match made in heaven. Market. You know what I'm saying? That's a match made in heaven.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, man. Come on.
Can you imagine?
I don't want to imagine it. Let's just stop that talk. Anyways, hey, I'm really happy they picked up Frank's option. I think he deserved it. I think that he's probably been the most consistent point guard in preseason so far. Mm-hmm. He obviously FIBA helped him out. I like what Skyzoo said, that he was at home, he was playing with his brothers, so he was comfortable. What we need to do as an organization is we need to figure out how to make Frank more comfortable within the team. because I think there's some seriousness to this thing that he might not feel a part of the team at times. Maybe because he is foreign, when he had KP here, it probably was a little bit easier to adjust to somebody who wasn't playing in America. But now we have mostly all American players. So, we need to incorporate Frank more into this team, because when he is comfortable, you see the kind of level he can play at. He plays with his head up instead of his head down.
Yeah.
And I hope, and I'll say this one time, I hope that they give him the starting position, because I think he's earned it, and it's up to him to take it and run with it. I don't think DSJ is ready. I think he's still recovering from that back injury. I haven't seen enough of Peyton to really say that I'd put him over Frank right now. I think it's best to give Frank the opportunity, and if he doesn't run with it, then hey, at least they say we gave it a shot, and now we really need to find a point guard.
Yeah. Wow, we're gonna find out, man. I don't know. Listen, I think that the Knicks have to come and Knicks fans and everybody just have to come to terms with that Frank Ntilikina is a certain type of player that has a role on an NBA team, whether it's a starter or coming off the bench. He's a certain type of player. You know what I mean? He may never become one of those guys that shoots 45% from the field. I don't know.
And that's okay. That's okay. If he can play defense and he can dish the ball out and run the offense, that's what a point guard is supposed to do. Yeah. And like you said, Sim, you said yourself best. If he's Marcus Smart, I'm cool with that. I'm with you, man.
He still has a lot of time. And yes,
he's only 21 years old.
I'm telling you now, me and Tony Crow had a conversation with Walt Clyde Frazier. You can ask Tony Crow's in the chat. You can ask Tony Crow. I'm not lying. We were standing right there. Tony asked him, "What's up with Frank?" Walt Clyde Frazier said, "It's confidence, man. It's all confidence with the kid. He's not confident in what he can do. That's it. It's confidence." You know what I'm saying? If he
or his confidence shakes a lot. I mean, there's been times where he's confident high and then he's a little low and high and low,
And if he can get if he can string together a few games where, he gets his 10, 12, 13 points, some assists, and then maybe his confidence can stick. And like Skyzoo was saying, and we were talking about it before. When he was in FIBA, he's comfortable there. His confidence can be high because he's comfortable there. You know what I'm saying? He knows
because his teammates believe in him. They know who he is.
I mean, yeah, they know who he is. His coach is a coach that he was already with. He grew up with that coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, we'll see. But he's got to get his confidence up. You know what I'm saying? And look, it's not uncommon for young men to be unconfident. Just at 21 years old, some of you might be 21 years old, and you're going to a new job. How confident are you when you get there?
Yeah, and also add the fact that he wasn't born here. Try being somebody foreign, young, in the biggest city, one of the biggest cities in the world. It's an adjustment,
But the thing is this: you're playing in a league where if you don't get that confidence right away,
it's hard. Yeah,
we're gonna go get somebody else that's confident. That's
the way it should be. I mean, if you don't got it, we're gonna find somebody that does.
Right. You know what I mean? So that's tough. That's tough. You know what I mean? So,
but I think
then it's like, do you give him the chance to build that confidence? And what if he never builds that confidence? Or do you just say, you know what, on to the next one because this guy doesn't have it? It's hard to say.
And the truth is, Sim, we don't have a point guard that's running away with this competition. they're all around the same
right
level,
now.
or they're all playing around. Well, right now they are.
Yeah,
but
right
I'm just
now.
saying,
But
I mean, nobody's
like I
running
said,
away with it.
Yeah,
so he's just got to play his game, do his thing.
Yeah, but I don't have Dennis Smith Jr. continuing to only score 6 points a game, 5 points a game. You know what I mean? He's got too much talent for that. I can't see that. He's got too much talent for that with Dennis Smith Jr., you know. City for real, I didn't get a chance to say what's up to you, bro. What's popping with you, my brother? How you feeling?
Yo, what's going on, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Yeah, it was nice having Skyzoo on the show. Recognized the blue and orange curtains. There's some dope.
Oh yeah, that's here all day. I got orange and blue.
That's what's up.
How do you
Dope
say it?
curtains,
Patio
man.
furniture, everything like that. So good.
So let me
That's
ask
nothing.
you, man. So is Elfrid Payton gonna be the starter? Do you think?
You know that's my guy, man.
know,
Come on,
but-
don't even ask me that. I would say
just
this,
that,
man.
you know, let's be
If
objective
he's
about
not,
it. Do you think he's gonna be the starter? Because you know, all of our point guards, this shooting was terrible. You know what I mean?
But hey, Sam, again, let's just say this. The only reason why Peyton's shooting was terrible, I would truly have to say most of it came from that 0 for 8 game. And he threw up a couple of 3-pointers, you know, with a couple of seconds left coming like halftime that threw his 3-point percentage off. Because if you go back and you look, if I believe right, he was shooting 50% from 3 because he had only took like 2 or 3 3-pointers, if I can remember right. And then he threw up a couple at the end of like the half or whatever it was. And then I just dropped it. But most of his bad stuff came from that 0 for 8. And even though he did go 0 for 8, the guy still came through with some rebounds, some steals. He had some good passes, just like that last game when we played the Pelicans. I mean, we already know what the guy does. He can find people with the breadbasket passing. I've been saying that for the longest. Everybody likes to say like the man can't shoot or whatever, like, you know what I mean? But I mean, at the end of the day, the guy is just bad at really shooting 3-pointers. Like, you know what I'm saying? But he brings more to the game than just.
And what you're saying, I think I was having a debate with Guillermo in the last stream between Frank and Elfrid Payton, and not just Guillermo, but somebody else too. We were kind of discussing between the two, why would they choose Frank over Elfrid Payton? And mainly it's because of the defense, and he's still competent, being able to run an offense, obviously not scoring. I kind of feel like the Knicks might go with Elfrid Payton before Frank because of those things that you said, the passing ability, the ability to run a team a little bit better. And he has a history of being a better shooter than Frank has ever been. You know what I mean? He's not a great shooter.
But they both can run an offense.
Shooter. Yeah, they both
can run an offense, and they both.
I feel like Elfrid Payton is more confident than Frank, though.
This is the thing that we talked about before, about Frank's confidence.
Yeah, but Frank does have a higher upside, and he's 21. You know what I mean? Well, Elfrid Payton is 25. Still not old, but 25 years old. You know, and people like, is Elfrid Payton going to be here? Let's let Frank and DSJ get their run in. That whole thing. We're going to see what happens Monday because Fizdale is not going to. He's not going to release his starting lineups until Wednesday. He's saving it. It's not going to release his lineups until Wednesday.
Sim, can I say this? About Frank? And I want to just remind everybody, and I say it all the time, and they don't get to hear me say it, but behind the scenes, right? I say it all of the time, man. Let's accept Frank for what he is. I wish everybody would stop wishing and hoping that this guy is going to come in and drop buckets. If he's just going to be a guy that plays defense and give us 8 to, like 7 to 10 points, 5 assists, but just play awesome defense, let's accept that and stop wishing and stop rooting for the guy to do more than what we've already seen. Like, you know what I'm saying? If he's a guy that we know is just only going to play defense and only give us a couple of buckets, let's accept him for his defensive role, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And go with that. Like, you know what I mean? Let's not push the issue.
I'm with you 100% right there. Let's take a listen to Frank Ntilikina and how he felt about the Knicks picking up his option, and you know, and if he thinks it's going to be long term. We all know Frank Ntilikina wants to be here. You know, and I want him to be here. I'd like for him to be here, but I listen. I approach everything with open eyes and open ears because I know how the game can work on a professional level. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, anything can happen. But let's take a listen to Frank Ntilikina, folks. This is Frank Ntilikina on the Knicks picking up his contract, his option. I don't know if that's low for you guys. I got a feeling that was kind of low, so I don't know. Maybe, you know, let me come back to it because I think it was maybe a little bit too low for you guys. You probably couldn't hear it too much. So I was looking at the levels, and the levels just looked very low. All right, so I guess I'll have to come back to it. No, it wasn't muted. It wasn't muted. It was just very low for whatever reason. I don't know why it was so low. So I'll try to work on it and come back to it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get to a phone call because let's put it like this. You said let's put it like this. Basically, he's happy that the Knicks picked it up. He's glad to be in New York, and he hopes that it's long term. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I don't know why that was low. We'll try to come back to it if I can get it done. Let me get to a phone call. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, son?
What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
I'm good. So yeah, man. What do you think? You glad that the Knicks picked up Frank Ntilikina's contract?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Frank Ntilikina has proven with his. I mean, you know, there's only one basketball, and not all five guys are going to get off. But I think Frank Ntilikina is the only. You know, like Dennis Smith Jr. is playing below his level. I think Alfred Payton did himself a big disservice with the way he played in preseason. I mean, he could have won this starting job, and I mean, nobody's asking him to go out there and get 20 points, but if he averaged 8, 5, and 8, 5 assists and 3 rebounds, he'd be a starting point guard. But he didn't even do that. You know, it's like we know we're not getting a lot of shooting out of Frank, and Dennis Smith Jr. We know he's either injured or he's out of whack right now. I think he needs time to just get himself right. I honestly think play Frank and then Alfred and let Dennis Smith Jr. get right because something's up with him.
Yeah. Listen, I watched Dennis Smith Jr. in that Atlanta game, and I think he went up for maybe it was a layup or a dunk, and he came down and he hit the floor. And when he hit the floor, he was holding his back a little bit. You know what I mean? And, you know, it scared me. I thought he was holding his back. I thought his back was hurting, you know. Hopefully his back is not going to give us a problem all season long, you know. Stay on the line for just a minute, all right? Because I want to stay on the line for just a minute because I want to get to this Kevin Durant. You know, I'm not understanding why Kevin Durant continuously speaks about the Knicks. You know, if somebody could tell me, I would appreciate it. I'm not understanding why, you know, he continues to talk about the Knicks. You know what I mean? But this is Kevin Durant. And I want to know what you guys think about it. Kevin Durant was on Monday's episode of How Hungry Are You by the Bleacher Report. And this is an article from SNY TV. And maybe I'll bring that article over here so you guys can take a look at it as I'm reading it. All right. This is Kevin Durant's statement to the Bleacher Report. All right. He said, I just like the and this is speaking on he spoke on his decision to sign with the Nets this offseason instead of the Knicks. And this is what he said. I just like the organization. As far as just the direction they were going in, Durant told Ibaka. A bunch of young guys that played in the playoffs before. I think the Knicks players, they're good young players, but they still need a little bit more experience to match where I was in my career. So it was nothing major against the Knicks. I just think Brooklyn is farther along in the process of being a contender. You know, I could take that. I understand that. Right? But my question is, why does it continue to happen that he's talking about the New York Knicks? I know people are asking him questions, but can't you just, KD, can't you just say, you know what? I play for the Brooklyn Nets. I don't want to talk about the Knicks. I mean, I guess he's just explaining himself, right? You know, I guess he feels the need to explain himself. Why does he feel the need to explain himself? I'm tired of hearing about this whole thing. I am tired of hearing about it. He does not play for the Knicks. He's not going to play for the Knicks. This happened back in July. It's October. And we're still getting articles about how and why Kevin Durant did not sign with the Knicks, why Kyrie Irving did not sign with the Knicks. I'm just tired of hearing about it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care that he did not come sign for the Knicks or play for the Knicks. You know what I mean? Let's do what we have to do. And I know it's not fans that's bringing it up. It's the media. You know, it's the media bringing it up. You know, constantly bringing up KD, this and that, and this and that. I'm so tired of hearing about KD and Kyrie not playing for the Knicks. And I guess it's going to be a season. KD's not even playing. And look, you know, I'm sure you guys saw the meme. You seen the meme on Twitter and everything, right? Between KD, Kyrie, and Zion, and this is nothing against Zion Williamson. I hope that Zion has a long, healthy career. You know what I mean? And I feel really bad that he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks because he had to get, you know, he had a torn meniscus. So I feel really bad that he's going to be out that long. You know what I mean? But two of those guys that everyone wanted the Knicks to go get are not even going to start the season. And Kyrie Irving's been hurt twice in the preseason already. He's been hurt twice this preseason. He's going to start the season. Should. But two of those guys, KD and Zion, they're not even starting the season. We may not see Zion Williamson until 2020. And I feel bad for him because he's a great kid. He's a really good kid. You know what I'm saying? He gets it. He understands what his job is in the NBA. He gets it. So I really do feel bad for Zion, man. I really do, but I'm just saying. You know, two of those players that everybody was coveting, not even going to be starting the season. Just imagine what it would have been. Just imagine if we would have got the number 1 pick and drafted Zion Williamson. And then we would have signed Kevin Durant. What would that have been like in New York right now? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what it would have been like if that would have happened right now? And let's say we signed Kyrie too. Would have been crazy. Would have been crazy. I'm just sick of hearing about it. You know, sick of hearing about it altogether. You know, and I guess it's on me. I can ignore it, right? So, I guess that's what I got to do. I got to ignore it, man. Caller, what do you think, man? What do you think?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. It just, I understand, like, the Knicks have a history of being functional, but I mean, made a regime change. We've done everything we were supposed to do. Like, it's not a secret. Everybody was like, oh, the Knicks are going to tank for Zion. It's what everybody was saying last summer. We were having shows and shows where people were saying tank for Zion. We said they were going to win like 20 games. We knew it was going to happen, and everybody still kills us for it. And then you got, it's like you can't watch ESPN anymore. You can't watch Fox. Well, Fox is okay, but you can't watch ESPN at all because it's like, I don't know if because they're in Connecticut and they've got a Boston tie. It's like, literally have to hear Knicks slander at all. I mean, even on ESPN radio, New York, I live in North Carolina and I listen to New York radio as much as I can. And them, it's just Knicks slander except for Alan Hahn.
Yeah, man.
KD, his Achilles tore. That's one of the worst injuries in the history of sports. Like, nobody comes back right. And they asked about the medicals, and then he decides. It's not like he had meetings with Golden State and the Lakers. He knew where he was going, and right when 6 o'clock hit, he said he was going to Brooklyn. He didn't even tell Brooklyn he was going there. He had made his decision. I think it was, if he didn't get hurt, he would have been a Knick. But he got hurt, and the Knicks were like, why are we gonna kill ourselves in the cap for the guy who's not going to play for 2 years? I don't care what anybody says. Even if Kevin Durant plays next year, not going to be Kevin Durant. Like,
yeah.
I hate, and it's like, everybody acts like we lost. We won. Julius Randle's going to play, God willing, he doesn't get hurt. He's going to play 70 games if he doesn't get hurt, at least, just with time management. RJ, everybody knows Zion got hurt and all that, but it's not like RJ isn't a budgeting star. I mean, the kid goes out there and he's giving you solid quality. I don't care if he only gives you 15 and 8, but he's giving you a solid 15 and 8 every night. You can count on it. Doesn't have to be 21. Yeah. If he's
I'm
there,
with you, bro.
And Zion, RJ has even tweaked anything or anything. I mean, he's playing the most minutes of anybody in the league. I think top 5 in preseason, and he hasn't even complained about anything. The kid's
He's tough.
Workhorse.
He's tough.
Why are we the butt of everybody's jokes when our roster is better than New Jersey's was last year? Our personnel. I mean, in the beginning of the year, they thought D'Angelo Russell was a bust. They wanted him out of town. They were a losing team until they went on a run. They went on like a 20 game. I think they went like 26-4 or 19-4 or something in the middle of the season. But before that, they were a laughing. Like they were right there with the Knicks, and the Knicks were tanking. They just hit a run.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right about that.
Into an all-star.
Yeah, you're right about that. Hey, man, listen, I appreciate the call, brother.
Oh, no. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Have a good one, man. No doubt. Give me a call, ladies and gentlemen, 516-405-2246. I want to hear your opinions, man. I want to know what you're thinking. We just need this whole thing about KD to go away. That's all. We just need it to go away. And look, I just see my man in the chat, B-Baller for real. Yeah, you mocked me a little bit. I see you right. I said, I'm going to ignore it. I need to ignore it. And then I asked him about it. But, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It happens like that sometimes. All right. Let me get over here to these guys in the video chat. Nate, coming to you, bro. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. Regarding Kevin Durant, it just behooves me that he just won't stop talking about the Knicks. And I think that people were right when they talked about him pre-free agency about, is he really a guy that you see as a leader? Is he really a guy who's not gonna be shook up being in the New York spotlight? You know, and I'm starting to believe that they're right. I mean, he is very concerned about what people say. He, if anything, and I think I think I'm right when I say this. I I think that RJ Barrett at 19 years old has a stronger, tougher demeanor than Kevin Durant at 30 years old. I mean, when you see this kid, he's fearless. He's not scared of anything. He just goes about his business. He does his thing. He's not phased. He's even keel. I don't see that with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant can just come off as being very emotional and very reactional. And I don't know if you want that as the face of the franchise for New York.
Yeah, nah, I feel you,
You
man.
know,
Definitely.
and I think that the Knicks did want Kevin Durant. Let's not be stupid.
Obviously,
But
they did.
at the
Obviously.
right price. And I think the fact is he had an Achilles injury, which the guy was right on the show or the call. Those are very hard to come back from, and most people don't come back from those and are play the same. Second of all, his personality. I think a lot of people, a lot of front office people wondered, can he be the guy to come in and resurrect a team that's so bad? You know, and does he scream leader? And the answer is no. You know, I don't think that they saw that.
Yeah.
And so I think they were lukewarm on him when it came to free agency. I mean, I think if he would have said, "I want to come to New York," they're not going to say, "No, we don't want you." But I think that they were like, "Well, you know, for this injury, we might have pushed really, really hard for it." But once he got hurt, I think they were like, "Well, you know, maybe we can take him, you know, but we're not going to give him the max money." Like I think when they said that Jim Dolan said that they weren't going to give him max money, I believe that. I really do. I believe that the Knicks really were not going to give him max money
Okay. All right.
because of the injury.
Let's do this, man. You know what? It is what it is. KD's not here.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
So,
We're crying over water.
Yeah,
water
not even going to focus on KD anymore. I want to talk about the NBA. I want to look around the league at some things that's happened in the NBA. I'm going to unmute Guillermo. I'm going to unmute Chuck. All right. So I got you guys unmuted so we can all have a conversation together. All right. We try to have, let's try to talk to, share the spotlight with each other, make sure we all can, take turns speaking and everything. I just want to go around the NBA real quick and look at some headlines around the NBA. All right. First things first, Zion is out 6 to 8 weeks after knee surgery. He tore his.
Not surprising.
He tore his meniscus, torn meniscus. So he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. How you feel about that? I'm going to come to Chuck first. Let me come to Chuck because I haven't heard from Chuck. Chuck, man, what's up, man? Zion Williamson is out for 6 to 8 weeks. How you feel? What's up? What you think about that?
What's up, Sam?
What's going on, bro?
Not much, but Zion being out for 6 weeks with the meniscus tear, it doesn't surprise me. Being his size and his weight and the crazy athletic stuff that this kid could do. Most people felt that was going to be an issue before he even came out of college. Like, he can't stay at this weight and be able to move and do what he's doing because eventually it's going to wear down on your joint.
Right.
And so I hope that the kid gets comes back healthy and is exactly at the 6 or 8 week mark when he can come back and resume his career because he's definitely exciting to watch. Like, you don't know what's going to happen when he gets the ball. When he's going to make a move, make a big man fall, he's going to bump on somebody, maybe even shack it and break the rim. Like, you want to see that kind of stuff. Wish it was in the garden for us, but, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, hopefully this is not going to be a problem throughout his career. Guillermo, what was you about to say, man? Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I posted it again, man. It's a video on Zion from this dude called a doctor named Brian Sutterer.
Yeah.
and he explains about Zion's body gait, which is basically how he stands, and the fact that he's playing like how his knees are inverted, so it's like the opposite of bow leg, and he has something called like valgus. And this guy predicted, he was like, "Yo, this guy like how Zion explodes, he's gonna be so prone to injury." And like when he like kind of like walks, he kind of like bobs back and forth. He does that because his hips are trying to compensate for so much weight and trying to like shift the weight so it's not just steady on his hips. I don't know who Zion's advisors are. I don't know who. I hope he doesn't have a bunch of yes men. But I said this since the preseason sim, and I said this after college. A guy who's 6'6", whose exoskeleton is not like he's not a football player. Like he's not like a big. A lot of it just seems like muscle. You know what I mean? He needs somebody to tell him, "Yo, bruh, if you want to have a long career in the NBA, you need to lose weight. You need to be at most 6'6", and you're exploding and you're moving around so much. You need to lose about 30 pounds. You can't be 280. That's not cute. We know it's an anomaly. You need to be about 250, at most 255, maybe 260. Because all that pressure, everything is on his knees, and the way he plays. This is why I said a lot of these guys, they need finesse games. They need back to the basket games. They need games, a game where they can shoot, where there's more technicality, so they're not killing their bodies, man. Look at guys like Derrick Rose. Look at all these great players that we've had who we lost because of injuries like this, right? And you're talking about guys Zion. Sim, he hasn't played one NBA game, and he already has a meniscus tear. Like, you're doing all these SB awards and all that stuff, bro. You need to be with a cook who's telling you, hey, we're gonna go on a vegan diet, no cheese, no nothing. We're gonna study your genetics. We're gonna make sure that everything that you eat is not adding to your weight or to your muscle because you're not at a healthy playing weight. The thing with the media, and I say I know you gotta go to other people. This is why the media sucks. Because if the Knicks got him, they'll be killing us. And the media, when people are pointing out, hey, this kid needs to lose weight, it was the cornballs on ESPN saying, oh, but he's so explosive. I'm like, bro, we've seen so many guys in college who've been explosive, and it doesn't translate to NBA. Worry about this guy's gait, worry about this guy's physicality and his type of game and his longevity. Because look at it now. Look at it now. He's a meniscus tear, Sim. And the development is somewhat lost for this year, right? He's gonna be out 6-8 weeks, but then he's gonna be trying to come back and be healthy, and there might be a tumbling effect, man. I don't know. Zion's obviously not watches, but you need more. You need less yes, bro. You need more people to be objective with him, man.
Yeah, like Stephen A. Smith said the best on the show. He basically said that he hasn't even played a real NBA game, and he's already had 2 massive knee injuries. That's not good for somebody that young. Now I know they can recover and get better, but the thing about it is that the 2 things in basketball you don't want to happen is your knees and your back. That's why I think DSJ is kind of screwed because back injuries are no joke.
Not a joke.
They linger. And you can tell when he hits the ground, you can tell he did get up and try to feel that back. And anybody who's had a bad back knows that they can flare up at any time. And the fact that these 2 guys are very explosive players, they play above the rim. It does damage to their bodies. The constant jump on the knees and the back and all that, and I don't know. I just think in a way the Knicks fans feel like they dodged a bullet
with the regular season
because they are happy with RJ Barrett so far, and I'll tell you what, Sim, with Zion being out, RJ has a good chance of winning Rookie of the Year.
Well,
I really think he's going to get every opportunity possible.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when Zion Williamson gets back. Hey, give me 1 second, guys. I want to see if if this sound is coming through.
Just days away. There's already been.
There we go. Okay, I got the sound coming through. I'm gonna play this video that Guillermo was talking about. I'm gonna play this video. All right. You guys will be able to listen to it. You won't be able to hear it unless you're on the stream. All right. But I'm gonna play this video. And I played a video from him before when he did a video on Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant's Achilles injury. And, I reached out to him and he said it was okay if I show his videos on the show. So I'm going to show his video. And I know Zion Williamson is not our player, but right now we're just going around the league. All right. We're going around the league and we're, just looking at stuff that's going on around the league. So I'm going to play this video. And in the meantime, while I'm queuing this video up, do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell so you'll be notified anytime that I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. All right, so hit that subscribe button right now. Do me that favor and hit that subscribe button right now. I'm trying to push this thing up to 10,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I am at 9,700. And you can help me out by sharing, putting on Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Tell your friends to subscribe. I'm trying to get 300 more. Trying to push it up to 10,000. If you can help me out, listen, I usually don't beg for subscribers. I'm begging you to help me out right now. I usually just, kind of mention it. I don't want to be that guy that begs for subscribers, but if you can help me out, you can do me a solid. I appreciate you. I would definitely appreciate you. So let's go ahead and let's listen to let's take a listen to this right here, man. This is definitely very interesting. I think I lost it. I don't know what I just did with it. So let me see if I gotta find it first again. Once I find it, then I'll be able to bring it back up. But anyway, like I said, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. Let's go ahead and let's listen in, ladies and gentlemen. This is why this doctor is really, really concerned about Zion Williamson. Check it out.
I don't think I've ever been more worried about a basketball player getting injured when I watch them play than I am when I see Zion Williamson step on the court. With the regular season just days away, there's already been some injury concern around the Pelican superstar. Welcome back, everybody, to your #1 source for learning about everything related to sports injuries and sports medicine news. In this video, we're going to take a look at why I'm so concerned about Zion Williamson getting injured in his NBA career. First, we'll focus on his gait or his walking pattern and how this might make him susceptible to injuries. And then we'll talk about how his body composition, his style of play, and just his sheer size and athleticism influence his chance of getting injured and his load on his different tissues. Make sure and go subscribe if you like this type of content and want to stay up to date with future videos this upcoming basketball season, and let's get started. A person's gait is the particular pattern and biomechanics displayed whenever they walk or run. Different aspects of a person's gait can clue us into potential disease or pathology going on, or tell us about potential injury risk based on different patterns. This is particularly relevant when we look at someone's jumping and landing mechanics, but we can also get some information just watching them walk and run. We've seen 2 examples of Zion's gait, and I'm far from the first person to talk about just how abnormal and off this looks. He has this sort of side-to-side movement at his waist with his upper body, and it looks like there's some funky stuff going on in his legs as well. Focusing on this first clip, I want to talk about the position of his legs. Ideally, we like to see someone have good neutral alignment between the hips, the knee, and the ankle. There's 2 abnormal positions we can see at the knee, and those are referred to as varus and valgus. Valgus is also like a knock-knee position when the knees are bent inward, and varus is when the knees are bent outward. Neither of these knee positions are healthy whenever it's too extreme, and especially not in someone who's a high-level athlete. Going back to the clip here, focus on that alignment of Zion's legs and his knees. To me, it appears that he has a component of some valgus alignment, or those knees kind of bending inward. We can pause this and even draw a line from the foot up to the knee and then up to the hip, and you can tell how things look like they're kind of falling inward a little bit. It's possible that some of this is coming from his feet. He could have more pronated feet or more flat feet, and that can be what sometimes cause these people to give this appearance like their legs are kind of falling inward. But it looks to me like this is a little bit of a knee valgus alignment whenever he's walking. This knee position is particularly troublesome whenever someone is jumping or landing and displaying the same position. It's one of the highest risk factors for an ACL tear, particularly if we see this knee collapse inward whenever someone's landing. It's called dynamic knee valgus, and it's one of the things we try to improve with ACL prevention programs. What's most important is certainly how these look whenever he's jumping and landing and running up and down the court, but just seeing this with his normal walking pattern, to me, is concerning. The second thing to talk about is the movement of his trunk or his upper body as he's walking. He tends to display this kind of side-to-side movement where it looks like when he steps, he's kind of rocking from one side to the other. People have commented how this seems similar to when someone has hip pain and how they walk. And yeah, there are features of this that are similar. If you have pathology or pain in your hip, your body tries to offload the amount of pressure going through your hip joint by shifting your weight over to kind of move your center of gravity off to the outside of the hip and take some of the weight off of the bones. This is what causes people to look like they're rocking from side to side whenever they're walking with hip pain, and we call this a Trendelenburg gait. You can also have this gait pattern with weakness in your hip muscles, but we primarily see it in patients who have hip pain. Now, I don't think Zion has some hip pathology or hip disease going on that's causing him pain and making him walk like this, but if you've seen these clips and thought something looks strange about this, yeah, this isn't a normal gait pattern to have this side to side movement at the waist. The second thing that makes me worried about him getting hurt is just his sheer size and athleticism and the style of play. As a freshman in high school, Zion reportedly was 6'3" and weighed 175 pounds. By the time he got to Duke 4 years later, he had only grown 4 inches, but had put on 100 pounds. Whenever you're gaining weight and building muscle, the rest of the tissues in your body, like your ligaments and tendons, don't necessarily grow at the same pace of your weight gain. So when Zion puts on that much weight in that short of a time period, the rest of the soft tissues around his joints are not yet strong enough to support that load and put you at higher risk of injury. Certainly now in the NBA, those structures have had more time to try to compensate for his excessive load and the force which he puts through his joints, but I still think this makes him a really high risk of injury. It's no secret that Zion's style of play could in and of itself be classified as high risk for injury. Anytime you have someone taking such aggressive moves to the rim and jumping up as high as he is, you're going to be at more risk of getting hurt. If you combine that style of play with an excessive amount of body weight, you're putting all those soft tissues around your joints at a super high risk of getting hurt. There's all kinds of examples of Zion putting himself in these sort of high risk positions. We saw the insane amount of power he was putting through his legs whenever he ripped out of his shoe when he was back at Duke. And just one particular example from this preseason here, we can see him down by the rim and he's twisting his body in a fun way. He's landing on one leg, kind of pushing off to the side, coming into the rim. These are just very unnatural movements that so far he's been able to make because of his athleticism. I'd be most worried about injuries to his ankle and to his knees just based on what we've discussed. This recent report about some soreness in his knee and the fact that Woj tweeted that this is more than just standard rest, of course has people concerned about another injury. There's a lot of stuff that could be explaining this soreness in the knee, but I think the biggest thing we have to think about is how his excessive load and body weight puts additional force on your tendons. Your quadriceps and patellar tendon are going to be subjected to more force. The more body weight you have, the more you're jumping and cutting. But we've also got to think about structures like the meniscus that are susceptible to more of that shearing injury whenever someone jumps land and sort of shears across the knee. The bigger you are, the farther you've got to come down after jumping, the more load you're putting through that meniscus, making it susceptible to getting hurt. I would love to see Zion either drop some weight or at least try to somewhat adjust his style of play. What he's doing right now and what he did at Duke, I just do not think is going to be sustainable for an NBA career without suffering some major type of injury. Big men in general are often injury plagued in the NBA, and now you combine that big man body with the high-flying athleticism of a point guard, and you've got a really bad combination. I know you guys probably think I get excited when someone gets hurt, but I truly do not want to see Zion get injured this season. I'm just as big of an NBA fan as everybody watching these, and I want to see him play. I'm super excited to see what he's able to do on the court, but I think we've got to watch out for these things and have a little concern. Thanks as always for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brian Sutterer, hopefully I said his name correctly. And, you know, he's very knowledgeable, very, very knowledgeable. And you seen the way he broke it down. Man, I mean, and when you look at the way that Zion walks and you know, like you were saying, Guillermo, that it's scary. It is scary, you know, for his career. And then the way that he contorts his body, moves his body, lands in awkward ways and things like that, he's definitely going to have to fix some of those things. You know what I mean? Learn how to land on 2 feet, learn how to land with a stable base, those type of things so that he can prevent some of those injuries. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I think there could be a lot to be concerned about. He went from 6'3" and 175 pounds, which is pretty normal, to 6'6", 6'7", and 275 pounds. 100 pounds. That's a lot. That's a lot.
The genetics, man. That's not even eating. It's freakish genetics. Both his parents, his father, I think, was a football player. His mother was a track star or something like that.
Yeah. It's crazy. Let's look at some more headlines around the NBA, ladies and gentlemen. Celtics signed Jaylen Brown to a contract extension, and it was a big contract extension. 4 years, $115 million. What do you think about that?
That Celtics team, Sim, that might be the biggest what ifs, because I don't know, man. It just seemed like I don't know, man. I just Jalen Brown. Don't get me wrong, is a nice player, but is he worth that much? You know what I mean? And but then you like Nate said, you probably have to because now you have to justify this whole project. I mean, you didn't get AD. You know what I mean? So and you lost Al Horford. So now you got to sign Jalen Brown, who he gives you spurts. But again, the problem with that Celtics team is that you have a bunch of guys who think they're number one and they may not be. Jason Tatum, rookie year, he looked like it'd be it last year, or was it last year? I guess was the second year. He took a little dip. Jalen Brown's been inconsistent games. He'll give you games where he flashes. He's like averaging 25 points off of 45% shooting and hitting threes and playing good defense. And the next, he's just, what the hell's happening? So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, man. 4 years, $115 million. He's not the only person that signed a good contract. Buddy Hield signed a 4-year contract extension with the Sacramento Kings as well. He was complaining about his contract. 4 years, $106 million. What do you think? Let me get you unmuted.
Hield?
Yeah, Buddy Hield. Worth it?
People are killing me because I was saying because Buddy had to come in his own from the Pelicans. Well, I mean, he's a 3-point threat. You know what I mean? He's starting to come into his own as a shooting guard. Yeah, and they have that young core. It's just, a guy like him, and I don't think he doesn't have any characters. In college, he's labeled, as a leader, as a good leader, that stuff. It's just you don't want to give a kid who might be overperforming his talent a lot of money, and then he gets some money he doesn't. I'm not saying he will. But again, they have him, De'Aaron Fox. That's a good backcourt.
Yeah. Well, now let's clear it up just a little bit. According to Woj and Sam Amick of The Athletic, they report that the Kings and Hield agreed to a 4-year, $86 million deal with incentives.
Oh, yeah, with $20 million in incentives.
Yeah, $20 million in incentives. So that's not too bad, I guess, right? $20 million in incentives. That's not too bad.
You're 100% right. Because now he's going to show him proof of the extra money. So and Nate makes a good point. A lot of these teams are in the middle of nowhere. Well, Sacramento's still California, but that aren't the big cities, whatever. Sometimes they struggle. They have to go to the draft and whatnot. So, hey, they got a guy in Buddy Hield who, past 3 years, he's been playing out of his. He's been playing fairly well for that team. Last year, he kind of came to his own, got into the All-Star game, whatnot. So I mean, I guess it's a smart deal, man. I just look at these deals, man. I'm just like, golly, like, don't get me wrong, these guys are good, but damn, I can only imagine what a guy like the Tim Hardaways and all those guys would have gone back then. But I mean, I guess it's good.
Yeah, I mean, hey, these guys making some money, and I'm just asking you guys to get me 10K subs. I'm not asking you guys to give me. That's true, right? I'm just asking you to help me get to 10,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? I'm not asking for $10 million or $100 million. I'm not asking for any of that. You know what I mean? This guy's, hey, what did Buddy Hield average last season?
He averaged, I think he shot over 40% from three. Maybe
I
like
think he did.
50,
I think he did. I think he did shoot over 40% from three last season.
But for the past 3 years, he's been doing that. But I think his shots per or his attempts have gone up. But since after the Pelicans, he actually been shooting at a fairly decent clip. So last year he averaged 20.7 points, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists off of 45.8% shooting, 42.7% from three, 88.6% from the free throw line. So yeah, he's been playing his butt off. Excuse me. And the past few years after the Pelicans, he's been fairly solid. He's been averaging above 40% since 2016-17. So from the three. Yeah, he's been doing his thing. So I just hey, if that's a guy, man, I hope it is.
Check this out. He was a guy that people almost gave up on.
Yes.
Right? We got to learn our lessons, man. He was a guy that they just about gave up on Buddy Hield. And now look.
You hear that? Frank.
Now look.
I ain't saying Frank's going to be Buddy Hield. I'm just saying sometimes you got to be patient. Because a team like the Pelicans, they could have probably used him, last year. But like you said, yeah, they gave up on him. So
they gave up on the kid, and now he's got
After 1 year.
Now he's got after 1 year. After 1 year, now he's got a nice extension. He's making some money, and he's putting in work. So I mean, what's up, Nate? Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Sim, did your heart break when you heard Bradley Beal sign that extension? And do you think he's worth it?
Well, let me tell you what. My heart broke a little bit, but right after he signed that extension, I was like, okay, he's off the board for me. You know what I'm saying? I like Bradley Beal. I would like him to play for the Knicks, but not for $36 million.
Yeah.
No, it's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse. As a matter of fact,
exactly.
As a matter of fact, when he is up for an extension or renegotiation, whatever it's called, he may be able to sign the richest contract in NBA history. Is he going to be worth that if they do it? And listen, the Washington Wizards have nothing.
They're garbage.
Right? They have nothing. Well, they do got Rui Hachimura. They got Bradley Beal. John Wall is
overpaid.
Done, right? They'll probably give it to him just so that they can make sure that they have something. It's crazy. I don't know about that, man. Israel, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
What's up, son? How you been, brother?
I've been good, man. How you feel about these contract extensions going around the NBA right now?
You know what's the one contract that I'm actually surprised at was Joe Ingles only signed for a 1 year contract, man. That guy is a freaking beast, man. That's like a Manu Ginobili type player. I was actually surprised he got a 1 year. I mean, I wouldn't go all that, but like he's a good player, and he only signed for a 1 year. It was like a $14 million deal.
I mean, that's probably well. Here's the reason why. There's a weak free agent class coming up in 2020.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a weak free agent class coming up, so he's betting on himself a little bit.
Right. Yo, can I say something, Sim, real quick?
Yep. Go ahead, man.
Actually, I own a shop, and I have this customer who works at the Garden, does security over there, and he's actually really tight with Royal Ivy. And he was telling me this actually last week that they were gonna exercise the contracts of Smith and who else was it? Smith,
Knox.
And Knox. And he told me that that they're gonna probably see how like they're gonna play the first 10, 15 games, and they're gonna push hard to try to trade for. Told me either D'Lo or Drew Holiday, like on the top of their list, that they're gonna go hard, and guys they're gonna trade are probably gonna be Smith, first round pick that they got from Dallas, and Knox.
Wow.
And most likely they want they really want to go after D'Lo because they feel like the Warriors, they only got him just to trade him. You know, the Knicks got all these small contracts. They got all these veterans on the team right now. I don't know, man. That's a possibility, man. And I honestly could see that happen. I don't see D'Lo really fitting with the Warriors right now. I don't know if we're gonna work. I don't know what's going on with our point guard situation, man. Everybody can see. Like, I hope we don't have one. And Dennis Smith Jr. I don't know if he's healthy or not, or what's going on with him. He had a good offseason. He looked great, but hopefully he's gonna come out healthy in this. Hey, yo, by the way, Sim, hopefully you're going to be in the Long Island area one of these days. I want to lace you up with a nice fresh cut, bro.
All right. I'm with it, bro. I got you.
And you still didn't follow my page back, bro. That's messed up. I followed you, never followed me back.
I followed, what page? What I never followed your page back?
Called The Silent Barber.
All right, I'm going to check. On what? Instagram, Twitter, what? Instagram?
Yeah, I'll hit you back up again.
Yeah, message me. That's very interesting what you say about Frank Ntilikina. I mean about D'Lo. About man, Kevin Knox. I hate to give up on Kevin Knox.
Yeah, we shouldn't be surprised about that because that's honestly our weak in the past like 10 years, and I don't know. Ntilikina, I remember somebody in the group said it that if you put all these, I think it was Viv said that if you put all these 3 point guards together, we got a really good point guard. But
right,
unfortunately,
right. I mean, that's true. That's true. You put them together, you got a really good point guard. But yeah, I mean, listen, that would be an interesting,
It's
a real interesting trade.
D'Lo.
You wanted
I
D'Lo.
like D'Lo.
I
I
like
like.
D'Lo.
We were talking about this in the offseason, Sim.
I was talking about D'Lo for so long. I did a whole video about Julius Randle and D'Angelo Russell.
Remember that?
A whole video. You know what I mean? I did a whole video. But at the time, I wasn't talking about letting go of Kevin Knox. We had the ability to sign both of them in the offseason. Now, the thing is, you wouldn't have got Bobby Portis. You wouldn't have got Marcus Morris probably. Or maybe you would have gotten one of those guys. You wouldn't have got both of them. But you'd have your starting point guard because we wouldn't have Elfrid Payton. Still would have Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. You know what I mean? But you wouldn't have Elfrid Payton.
I just don't think D'Lo in Golden State, man. You know, he has such a great year with the Nets, man, and he's just not gonna be the same player again over there, man.
Yeah,
exactly. So I don't know. He's not gonna fit in with them over there. You know, he might drop some points, but I feel like they've honestly just brought him in because he's gonna be a trade chip for them. They'll probably throw in Marcus Morris because they're gonna need a guy like that in the Warriors. You know, they're trying. The Warriors need to get stacked up again, man, because they're not looking like the favorite here. You know, everybody's already talking about the Lakers and Clippers already overshadowing them. So I don't know, and honestly, I would take a heartbeat right now with our point guard.
I'm telling you, listen. If we would have had D'Lo, Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, and then you have either Morris or you also have. Come on, Guillermo. That's a squad. Tell me that's not a squad.
No. But Sim,
that is a squad.
I'm not complaining. I agree with you, but we could have had D'Lo.
I know.
I think we could have had him in the summer, and it's like I don't want to give up so many moving parts because that's a lot for. Don't get me wrong, a player who I said on this show that Nets team played better. And I think they'll play better with him than they will with Kyrie because for some reason they just galvanize towards him. And he's the type of point guard Fizzo likes. Heavy on-ball guard, can score, can shoot, can be creative.
He's a pretty good
But I don't know if he's worth a first and then Knox. Like, I know P might kill me for this, right? But imagine Knox going to the Warriors. And the way they play off-ball offense, Knox is a 20-point scorer.
Yeah.
Like, and an efficient 20-point. I'm not talking about 20 points and he's shooting 30%. I'm talking about 20 points, 42% from three, and like 45% shooting. And you know they'll get him in those spots.
Yeah, but
I just wonder this.
Older, man. They say
I wonder this.
I'm just throwing it out there. Don't kill me. I'm just throwing it out there.
And
please.
Look, Gary Singh in the chat is asking the same question that I'm thinking about. If the Knicks want D'Lo, or if they wanted D'Lo, why didn't they try to get him in the summer?
I agree.
You said what?
Or Holiday.
Or Holiday.
But they really want D'Lo. That's what he told me.
Right. So, but why didn't they try to do it in the summer when you had all this cap space? Because now you got to trade away assets where you could have kept those assets, traded for him. Signed him. And you might have even got him at a decent deal because you wanted to stay in New York.
Wanted to stay.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be happy and I'll be happy that we got D'Lo, but I'll be upset that we gave up assets when we could have signed them in the summer. That would piss me off a little bit.
And you give up major assets, Sim, because I don't know if you have Nate muted, but Nate was saying, don't you do this to give up to go for a guy like D'Lo? Well, no, you give up major assets like a first and a bunch of players. I think for a guy like a Giannis, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, D'Lo is a good player, and I like D'Lo's game, but is he a Giannis, Kawhi level where you throw? I'm not saying it's the farm, but you throw a lot of draft picks and talent for him. And I know people are gonna kill me. People say, "Oh, Frank is not talented." I get it, whatever.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you get these assets. That's why you get these assets to have these opportunities to make these kind of trades.
I just don't like the first round because if the Knicks suck, that first round is gonna be really valuable. You know what I mean? And there are some players in the draft. Not necessarily. D'Lo, don't get me wrong. When he was with the Lakers, I understand he was young. But, D'Lo again, is a player that only showed for 1 year that he could lead a team. And it was basically with the ball heavy in his hand. It's just no. I like D'Lo a lot. I don't know about look, if Knox comes in and he plays like the 3 that we wanted, especially after Morris is traded or whatever, or say Morris is traded early and he starts to show that. I don't know,
Would you
man.
rather have Knox or D'Lo right now?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, but they're gonna be playing. They're gonna win over 25 games because you can see Verdi Fizdale's not even playing none of the young guys. No Iggy, nobody was playing all the veterans, all the guys. He wants to win this year, man. So I'm telling you that they're gonna try to win as many games as possible.
Okay.
So I don't even think that draft pick is gonna be worth anything.
Yo,
Let me
can you
get to
have
it.
your friend?
Hey,
Can you have your friend like come on the show as like a clandestine kind of like figure? You could like hide his face and just give us like all the scouting
Poke
reports.
his brain.
Yeah. Please, we can use that, man. Like some Metal Gear
Sim.
Solid shit, man.
Hey, Sim, I got a question.
Hold on. Let me get to a phone call. You guys are still live, so just stay quiet because you're going to be able to hear a phone call, okay?
All right.
Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, Sam,
What's good?
I got a theory, man. I think the Nets knew the Knicks were interested in D'Lo, so it was like get him to agree to sign a trade where that money's guaranteed. You know what I mean? Because he pretty much didn't get a free agency.
Basically,
Wasn't he included in like the sign and trade for KD?
Yeah, part of that was KD as well. I forgot about that. KD kind of, KD did his little thing where he was like, whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? And so that, he forced that sign and trade. And, forced the sign and trade. But look.
He didn't really get a chance. Now, he could have opted out had the Knicks reached out to him, but that's turning down guaranteed money.
Because
and that was done pretty quickly. I don't even think we had Randall signed yet. Or we may have had just Randall signed.
I think we had Randall signed, but I think he could have easily though, like, because he was an unrestricted free agent, so he wasn't even restricted, right? He wasn't a restricted free agent. He was unrestricted, right? So he could have just been like, "No, I'm going to sign with the Knicks."
Yeah, he was unrestricted.
Right. So he could have just been like, "I'm going to sign with the Knicks. I'm not trying to do no sign and trade." You know what I mean?
But the thing is, they did that early. You understand what I'm saying? So for him to wait and say no, I'm not doing it, he would have been turning down guaranteed max money.
My thing is this: the Knicks should have spoke to him. I mean, if they wanted him, if he was someone who was on their radar, they should have spoke just like everybody else did, right? Everybody else was talking to people well before the deadline, well before before July 1st. They should have reached out to his people. We're interested. We want to talk to him. Try to do something. We'll see what happens from there, man. I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
I just think they were a little slow to it.
Yeah.
I don't think they weren't interested or weren't going to. I think they had priority, like the list in order. We got to get Randall signed first.
Right.
Then we can bring in D'Lo.
Yeah. Listen, that'll be real interesting, man, if they end up trading for D'Lo. Now, D'Lo can't be traded. I don't think he can be traded until December 15th. Right? Any free agents who signed July 1st or in July, they can't be traded until December 15th. That's when you can start trading those players. So we'll see what happens.
I'll tell you one thing, though. I'm not giving up Knox and the first. Like,
yeah, that's too much.
Morris and whichever guard they want, point guard, and I would, I'd try to hold on to it first if I could, because that's going to improve them more as a win now team. Anyway,
but they're in the
West,
what I mean? So we'd only see them in the finals.
Still.
Say that again?
No, Nate said, but they're in the West, so we would only see them in the finals. But still, you know what I mean? Still.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about seeing them. I'm talking about not giving up too much for D'Lo.
Right.
Because they pretty much got D'Lo for free. Because they was on the verge of losing Durant for nothing.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see, man. Israel comes into the chat. You know what I'm saying? Dropping some stuff. Hey, Israel, I gotta cut that little piece out and make it a clip. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I mean, it's already public. It's already out there.
Crap. Israel's friend's going to be exposed, so you got to chill out,
right.
man.
That guy's not going to hear anything. That guy's freaking. There's a mole.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. If Royal Ivy catches a whip of this, he's like, hold
up. No, he's going to take down his video.
Hey, just say allegedly. Just get him to say allegedly a couple times.
Allegedly.
I'm trying to get
cut that up and so.
Man.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Israel?
Allegedly.
What'd you say, Israel?
I said I'm trying to be like Woj right now. You know what I mean? I'm giving you guys the freaking 411 right now.
Knicks bombs, dropping Knicks bombs. Israel comes in.
Knicks bombs.
I'm telling you, they're gonna wait 10, 15 games. They're gonna see how to point. Listen, if Dennis Smith Jr. is gonna just start, playing the way Dennis Smith Jr. we all hope could play like, then I'm sure they're not gonna go because, like Tony said right now, that nobody wants to give up the first round, and Knox, Knox might have a good future and stuff. Why wouldn't the Warriors do that? They don't need though. They rather have Knox. They rather have Miller coming off the bench, backing up Steph Curry with a defense that he plays.
I just don't see the Warriors doing that until Clay comes back.
Yeah. So by the time Clay comes back,
Good
the
night.
Knicks in 10, 15 games, what's going to happen in the point guard situation. And I'm telling you, there's going to be some kind of trade. The Knicks are not going to be holding on to all these players that they got on all these like short-term deals on that they got right now. And something's going to happen, man. Everybody knows that something's going to happen, And I talk to this guy. He comes at least like once every 2 weeks and stuff. So he tells me all this stuff and talks to Roll Ivy on all the time. He told me. I don't know how true it is. I don't know, but it sounds believable. So,
point guards suck.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Everybody, we need something. Tim, this is the way it's going right now. Our biggest hole. I don't care what talks about Julius Randle, this, that, and everybody. The biggest concern that we have for the longest, everybody knows that, is the point guard situation. We need to get it situated. We need to find out what's going to happen with this position already, because this is the most important position in the NBA. You're the quarterback. You're the one that sets the offense. It's not even about the coach. Everybody wants to blame Fizdale, the management. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about the point guard. You don't have a good, stable point guard that could run the offense. This team is not going to go nowhere. I don't care how many coaches you have. I don't care how many players you're going to be bringing in. If you don't have a good point guard, this team is not going anywhere.
Not that, but the point guard is the extension of the coach.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be in here. He's going to be the one that's going to be calling the plays. He's going to be the one that's telling. This is why I respect guys like Chris Paul. Everybody says he's he's freaking a little bit out there, but you need a vocal guy that's going to talk to the players and tell them where to be at. Closing out games, very, very important, and something needs to happen. So
yeah,
can't sit here and blame the coaches and everybody else at this point. We need a point guard.
Yeah, I feel you. Let me finish going around the league. I still got you guys live. All right, hey Tony, I'm gonna let you go so we can get some other people calling. All right.
No doubt. I think D'Lo was restricted though.
Oh,
we might have to look that up.
Yeah, we have to look that up.
Yeah, after
we have to
December,
look that up.
He was unrestricted.
But shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. So
right,
keep
man.
doing your thing.
Peace. All right, let's finish going around the league real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Domantas Sabonis, he agreed to a 4-year extension with the Pacers. 4 years, $80 million for Domantas Sabonis. I like Sabonis. Every time he plays the Knicks, he kills us.
Young player.
He kills us, drops 30 on us every single time he plays the Knicks, man.
He doesn't even start,
man,
and he
kills us. Yeah, he doesn't even. Yeah, I know. I mean, he kills us every single time.
Like father, like son.
His father, man. I was watching clips from the Blazers, man. His father was a little bit slightly different, but they still have really good technical back to the basket skills, man.
His father was actually the first stretch big man that started shooting. So
he was huge.
Came to the NBA too late, man. Him,
yeah.
Damian Stoudemire, Bonzi Wells, Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, they had a little thing going on right there.
That was a good team.
They had the little.
That's a smart deal, man. Their biggest thing is keeping Oladipo healthy, man, because Oladipo is such a special player. But
when he goes,
right,
Yeah.
Joe Ingles, like Israel said, signed with the Jazz for 1 year.
Ingles. I like that guy.
English. It's English, right? English?
English? I thought it was Ingles. I don't know.
Oh, it's Ingles?
That was Ingles.
Oh, Ingles.
Hey,
yeah. All right. I don't know if it's English or Ingles. Whatever. But he signed a contract extension with the Jazz for a year.
Have that Niggy.
Yep. So, that's the guy that, that NBA scout said that RJ Barrett's going to be Joe. Remember that?
That guy's whack.
Said RJ Barrett's going to be like Joe.
No.
Hell no. Not even close.
I don't know.
Iggy more like Iggy more is like Ingle.
Man. All right. So now let me ask you guys, let's talk about some of your predictions, man. Tell me, who are your top teams in the league this season?
Top teams in the league is going to be the Warriors. It's definitely going to be the Clippers.
Warriors?
That Warriors team.
Yeah, they're still going to be good.
Yeah, they're going to be dangerous just because. Well, D'Lo, you're going to have Clay, you're going to have Curry.
Clay's not going to be back probably till the end of the season.
Oh, I meant just overall, as in the whole team is going to score. But I mean, yeah, it's going to be mostly. And again, I think this might be a special year for Draymond because he's going to be. If Draymond could play like how he did last year with in that Blazers series and without Clay there, he's going to find the open guys, man. He could have a scary year just outside of scoring shots. But other powerful teams or really good teams, obviously, unfortunately, Houston Rockets, who I really hate their style of play. Like if you look at all like the efficiency type of like stats and off ball stuff, all the bad teams are at the bottom, and then it's the Houston Rockets just because their whole game it was same. And someone's killing me. I know I gotta say the Lakers. Unfortunately, what's name just got hurt? AD got hurt, but he should be. If he's healthy, they should be top.
The Jazz. I was just about to say the Jazz.
The Jazz gonna be good. The Blazers.
Good. I want to see that combo.
The Blazers are gonna be good. That's in the West.
Okay,
Did we name the top 8 teams in the West.
So let's do this. Let's first do the top 8 teams in the West, top 8 teams in the East, and then we'll talk about the top title contenders. So what's the top 8 teams in the West?
Is going to be Clippers, Warriors, Lakers, Rockets, Jazz, Portland,
Dallas.
Nah.
I think Dallas is going to make the playoffs.
No way.
If
They
KP
only
stays
got
healthy
Luka
with
and
Luka,
You just said if KP stays healthy. Remember, Nate, KP gets tired. Yeah. You got to account for him getting tired.
Doesn't matter. It's Luka Doncic. You have to do everything now.
Did Luka Doncic get to the playoffs last year? Nope. So when I cannot use either. Yeah, but again, KP gets tired. I can't use no singular player unless you got to the playoffs mostly by yourself.
I'm just saying, if those two duos are healthy, man, and they're good to go, man, that's a damn scary.
Who? Oh wait, hold up. The Kings might make it. The Kings
maybe.
The Kings probably have. Cauley Stein is finally.
No, he's on the board.
Harrison Barnes is a bomb.
Oh, he got traded to the. Oh wow, my bad. Wait, who's on the Kings now? So you got Hield, you got
Barnes,
Bagley.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run down the teams in the West. All right. So that we know who these teams are, so we don't forget anybody, and then we'll see where we think they're gonna be. You got the Dallas Mavericks. You forgot about the Denver Nuggets. Okay, you got the Dallas Mavericks, Denver Nuggets, Golden State Warriors, Houston Rockets, the Clippers, Lakers, Grizzlies, Timberwolves, Pelicans. OKC, you got Phoenix Suns, Portland Trailblazers, Sacramento, San Antonio, and Utah.
Okay. So we forgot about Denver and don't be surprised. OKC with Shai
Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, blah blah. Whatever. I can't pronounce his name. Gallinari, and then they have that kid. They have Chris Paul, who I think is excellent for those young players. Mm-hmm. And they have that kid Baisley, the kid who took the internship.
Okay. So see, I think you're gonna have the Clippers. I'm not going by any order right now, but the Clippers, the Lakers, Denver. I think the Warriors are still being it. The Rockets are still being it. That's 5.
The Spurs.
Right? Portland's going to be in it. That's 6.
Yo, the West is
Utah, that's 7. And then you got San Antonio. You got Sacramento. You got the Pelicans.
Oh, Pelicans.
So yeah, but Pelicans without Zion, I don't think they're gonna make. Like they would have had a better team with Lonzo and.
They got a good team without Zion.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's playoffs over the Spurs. Nah.
No, probably not.
Spurs with Dejounte Murray and Mills and
that's going to be a tough one. Now looking at the East.
All right.
All right.
What, four teams?
It's like 3 teams.
So when you look at the Eastern Conference, let me see who we have here. You got Boston.
They're going.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Indiana.
They'll make it in the East. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, they're making the East. I forgot. It's the
right. So Boston, Brooklyn, Indiana, 76ers, Milwaukee.
They'll make it.
Let me see who else. Toronto. I think Toronto's still gonna make it.
They'll make it. I think
they'll still make it.
They'll probably barely get it.
Detroit.
They won't make it.
They might
don't think so.
Actually.
They made it last season.
Blow up that team.
They made it last year, but you know who I think might take their place this year? I think the Magic might take their place.
Magic got a solid team.
They have a solid team, man.
Yeah,
you have the Magic, Gordon.
You have Miami.
Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
The Isaac guy.
Mo Bamba.
Yeah, but it's too good. That kid Isaacs can't shoot. Another big slasher dude. But I think their makeup of that team, Vucevic and Gordon is.
They got good players. They got
Vucevic should be on a different team, man. He's been just balling every single. Yeah. No defense, but he's been balling.
He signed for them, and also remember the Pistons made it on the last day of the regular season last year.
Did you say Bucks?
So
yeah.
Yeah,
he said Bucks. Someone say Miami.
Maybe Miami.
It could be. They could. Listen, Miami was what 41 or 39 and 42 last season or something like that.
Yeah, because they got. Also, how do you guys feel? Well, they don't got Hassan Whiteside anymore. How do you?
That's good.
Yeah, that's true.
They got Bam.
Oh, Bam Adebayo.
Got that kid Hero. Oh my
I know
God,
Tyler Hero, but see, everyone's. We got to see what Ty Hero does in the regular season because, this is all preseason stuff. We don't
Hero
know.
Can shoot, man. I don't care what anybody says. He can shoot. Got Klay Thompson in him.
And now my top 4 teams. My top 4 teams in the league, Clippers, the top contenders, Clippers,
the best
Milwaukee.
East team is probably 6 or 7.
You say Milwaukee now?
Milwaukee, yeah, man. Milwaukee.
I think, what's crazy, Sim? I want to agree with you, but I think the league has Giannis figured out, and not in terms of they'll shut him down. He's going to be a superstar, but until he shoots, yeah. And they don't have Brogdon anymore, which I think hurts them a lot.
Who's going to come out of the East? Okay, Milwaukee or Philadelphia coming out of the East?
Philadelphia.
One of those two probably coming out.
I got to say Philadelphia, man. Philadelphia went to Game 7, right, against the Raptors last year. Philadelphia could have been.
So, I mean.
Was it Game 7? Game 6? I can't remember.
They lost Brogdon, Milwaukee. Also. That's big.
I
don't know if Milwaukee's a number 2 team, man. I know Clippers are. Clippers are right there, man. But
out in the West, you got the Clippers.
Let's put it this way: the East ain't winning this year.
I'm gonna tell you what. Denver could be right there in the top 2, top 3.
Yeah, they're gonna be the.
Denver got a.
Nobody's talking about Denver, man. They got Porter Jr. now, or Porter.
Yeah. Can't sleep.
Yeah, he got to stay healthy. He hasn't played a full season probably since middle school, man.
They got Bobo, I think, too. No, they got Bobo.
Oh,
he got to stay healthy too.
Yeah. Like riding the bench, but whatever.
They've got some young projects on there.
Yeah, but hey, guys, I'm gonna get up out of here, man.
All right,
it's
bro.
late. It's late. It's 1:00 in the morning. Been on for 2.5 hours.
Man, we're talking about the East. I got the Knicks, bro. That's it.
You got the Knicks making the 8th spot.
I got the Knicks making the 8th spot, man.
Okay, I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping. Hey, if we do a trade for D'Lo mid-season,
never know.
You never know.
Book it.
You never know. All right, fellas, I'm out of here, man. I appreciate the time. All right, appreciate the time. You guys coming on with me. You know what I mean? It's 1:00 in the morning. I got to get up early. I got a meeting early in the morning. I appreciate everybody for staying up with me 1:00 in the morning and talking New York Knicks. You know what I mean? I appreciate Skyzoo for coming on the show. And look forward to having Skyzoo back. Make sure you get a chance. If you get a chance, make sure you check out Skyzoo's Retropolitan album. Not featuring. It's him and Pete. Excuse me. It's Skyzoo and Pete Rock. You know what I mean? Skyzoo and Pete Rock with the Retropolitan album. It's a dope album. Really nice album. So make sure you check that out. Okay, get a chance, stream it, buy it, whatever you do. Make sure you check that out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on tomorrow night. I'm not exactly sure what time. I'm working that out with Jonathan Macri, but I'm going to have Jonathan Macri from Knicks Film School here. You know who Jonathan Macri is. So pay attention to that. You know what I mean? Look for your notification. He'll be on tomorrow night. We'll be doing some season predictions for the Knicks, and we'll be looking at the NBA, and we'll just be breaking down the Knicks. You know what I mean? Getting ready for the Spurs. Tomorrow, about 2:00, I'm gonna have a game preview, Knicks Spurs game preview. So look forward to that. So I should be on twice tomorrow. All right, be on twice tomorrow. So make sure you're there with me. All right, subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get to 10,000, man. I'm trying to push this thing up to 10,000. I'm at 9.7 now. Trying to push it up to 10,000. You know what I mean? That way some more things open up. And, because there's some things that I want to do coming up in the future. All right. If you guys paid attention on Twitter, I told you I got some things coming down the pike. One of the things coming down the pike is live studio shows with a live audience. The first one is going to be in DC. I'm working on all the logistics right now. Look forward to that. Look forward to those details coming out. So everybody that's in DC, look forward to it, because I want to see you there at the live show. You know what I'm saying? I want to see you there. So pay attention to it. It's going to be real soon. Very, very soon. Well, I don't want to say very, very soon. It's going to be soon. You know what I mean? Just look for the details coming out. Sometime this week. It could be tomorrow, could be Wednesday, could be Thursday. Close Up 360 is going to preview their Bobby Portis mini documentary on the channel. All right, so pay attention for that. All right, and what I'm asking you to do is I want everybody to get in there, everybody to get into the preview. Pay attention to when the preview is going to come out. It's a good documentary. All right, it's Close Up 360. The owner is Jared Zwerling. Jared Zwerling used to, he used to be a beat writer for the Knicks. It's coming up this week, so pay attention for the notification. All right, so we got things happening, man. Things coming down the pipe. Things happening. You know what I mean? Like I said, man, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for rocking with me tonight, and I'm out. I will catch you guys tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here. Peace.
That's the G.